accomplice, Joe Biden.
Former President Trump says Harris's inflation plans are an admission the policies she's been part of have failed. She says his plans would raise everyday costs on middle-class families. Renewed optimism for a ceasefire and hostage deal between Israel and Hamas after 2 days of talks with mediators in Qatar. President Biden saying they're closer than they've ever been.
In a statement, mediators said the talks were constructive and done in a positive atmosphere, presenting Israel and Hamas with a proposal.
Fox's Tanya J. Powers, that proposal aimed at bridging remaining gaps with a plan to reconvene next week in Egypt. America is listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
You're not quite in the clear. Partly cloudy, 85 degrees in downtown Indianapolis. Nothing on radar at the moment. Low is 69 tonight. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 3:02. You're not completely done with chances for rain.
There will be periodic chances for showers and thunderstorms. I think they'll focus primarily during the afternoons and evenings on Saturday and Sunday.
After that, Mike Ryan with the National Weather Service says the humidity will drop next week. Things should be dry by Tuesday. Someone's in critical condition after they were shot this afternoon near East 30th and Ralston Avenue, says IMPD. That's northeast of downtown near Douglas Golf Course. Police are still looking into that shooting. A new drug's been found in the streets of central Indiana. Ryan Hetrick reports that it's much more potent than fentanyl.
It's called nitazene, and a toxicology lab found it in a man who had overdosed and died in Fishers.
Most people are purchasing this drug unknown. They're ordering pills through black market pharmacies.
Hamilton County Coroner Jeff Jellison, speaking with Wish TV, says when people order pills online, they're getting cocktails of poison. Ryan Hedrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
The Department of Metropolitan Development wants to eliminate a lane of traffic on Georgia Street between Illinois Street and Capitol Avenue. Indianapolis Mayor Joe Hogsett says this would be a part of the city's spending plans for next year.
This coming year is going to be about supporting the people who got us here in the first place.
Hogsett wants to make it a green space and an outdoor event space as well to help out with the Indiana Convention Center. It would still need approval from the City County Council. Indianapolis Colts quarterback Anthony Richardson says training camp the second time around has been a lot faster.
I'm grateful for the fan base. I'm grateful for everything. I'm just grateful being here. I thank God for allowing me to make it through another year camp. I'm just looking forward to the season now.
Both Richardson and the rest of the starters are not expected to play in Saturday's preseason game against the Arizona Cardinals. Those two teams, though, have been practicing together the last couple of days. And the Indiana Fever are back after a 30-day Olympic break. They've got the Phoenix Mercury at home tonight. Head coach Christy Side says the team's been working on their defense.
They put in the work, and they knew we needed to work on that, and they were real positive about it and worked really hard, and we did do some things and got better over the break on the defensive end side of the floor.
Tip-off at 7:30. You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 3:04.
Sinus pressure, congestion, snoring, being unable to sleep, being unable to breathe. Yep, it's another sinus infection. You've Googled, watched videos, tried over-the-counter sprays, medications, and home remedies, but nothing ever works. There must be some kind of treatment that can help, right? Indianapolis Sinus Center understands how draining it can be when you try treatment after treatment without any relief. That's why they've been serving and treating the community for over 50 years. Indianapolis Sinus Center has performed thousands of procedures and helped thousands of patients find lasting relief they didn't know was possible. Patients like you. If you've had enough of sinus pain, pressure, and congestion, schedule a visit with Indianapolis Sinus Center today. Call 317-528-9650 and take the first step toward breathing easy. 317-528-9650. That's 317-528-9650 or visit IndianapolisSinusCenter.com.
The traffic in the 5s to 3:05. Good afternoon, Map Air.
Good afternoon, Harrison. Looking at southbound 65 in Johnson County, I have a crash reported blocking the right lane south of County Road. This is southbound 65 south of County Line Road. Watch out in that area. Inbound 65 slows 21st to Meridian Pad. Crash northbound 65 between 21st and 29th, slowing us down just an inch. And eastbound 465 starting to slow on the northeast side from Keystone Avenue to Allison Pleasantville Road. Traffic sponsored by Audible. Make traffic work for you with Audible. Explore new worlds or get inspired listening to audiobooks, podcasts, and originals. There's more to imagine when you listen. Sign up for your free trial at audible.com. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
Partly cloudy skies later this afternoon. We'll see an isolated shower or thunderstorm possible. It's going to be warm and muggy today with highs right around 85. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Tara Hastings for 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox on the level on the go and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos?
So let's rock it! My name's Nigel. Jason Hammer is here with a special live in-studio guest.
Donnie Burgess from the WIBC newsroom joins us. We've dubbed him Delphi Donnie because he is the dedicated reporter to cover all things happening with this wild, high-profile trial that's scheduled to begin in October, but we've had a lot of hearings prior to that. So, Donnie, we've got some decisions on some of these previous hearings coming in today. What do we got?
Yeah, guys, thank you for having me. And stop me if you're surprised. The judge went ahead and denied the request to dismiss charges against Richard Allen. That's one of the things that happened today.
It's a big one, yeah.
Yeah, she has said that, the defense could not prove that, exculpatory evidence, fancy word for evidence that could have proven Richard Allen was innocent. She says, hey, you guys have still not been able to prove any kind of viable link there, and you guys keep naming this one alternate suspect, but you still haven't defeated the state's evidence showing that he was cleared. So you know what? We're not going to go ahead and drop the charges. That was motion one. That was denied.
Okay, so again, it feels like we've got updates every week on this. The defense team of Richard Allen, they have wanted a lot of things, including the judge thrown off this trial. Doesn't sound like that's going to happen, but they keep asking for things. What else is on the table here?
Well, the thing is, they do keep asking for things, but a lot of this is from months and months ago that has piled up. So now she's finally getting to it. But anyways, the second motion was they wanted the prosecution to be sanctioned, to be punished for what they called misuse of discovery evidence rules. They're saying, hey, the prosecution has screwed us every which way on getting, proper procedure for getting discovery. And the judge is like, well, you violated trial rule by not going to the prosecution and trying to come up with a informal compromise. So no thanks, we're not going to sanction the prosecution. But they now do have a time limit. Apparently the judge says, hey, if you guys have any new discovery evidence, state, you've got 7 days to turn it over.
Now, she already ruled against removing herself in the case.
She went ahead and said no twice to not stepping down.
And was also supported by the Indiana Supreme Court at one point.
That's true, yes. But it is very funny that she was like, you know what, I hear your call, and I'm not going to go anywhere on that.
Okay, so what's next? Like, can we just take a break and get to the trial, or are we still waiting on more decisions from the judge for previous questions asked by the defense?
Oh, it's more of the latter. We have a hearing set for 1 week from now, and the funny thing is, we have no clue what it's about. The judge set this hearing. We have no clue what's going to happen, what's being discussed, and half of the hearing is off limits to the public. And then the other half, they're going to let people back in.
So it's a secret hearing where the reporters are not allowed to be there.
Or even public. People just can't walk in and see what's going on.
I don't like the sounds of that at all. I don't like what's going on there at all.
And there are still several motions, the biggest of which is the prosecution wanting, alternate suspect theories and Odinism theories kept out of the trial. That one still needs to be decided as well.
Where can we get more information?
WIBC.com. That's where it always is.
Donnie Burgess from the WIBC newsroom. Donnie, thank you.
Thanks, Donnie.
Man, there's been some drama in Southport. Have you been following this bizarre little back and forth between the mayor of Southport and the chief of police?
Wow, for once, a different mayor in a different city is embroiled in controversy.
Right.
Yeah, Southport, right? What's going on?
So Jim Cooney, the Republican mayor of Southport, he was trying to remove the chief of police, Tom Vaughn, and at one point did remove him, like fired him.
Chief's been on the show before, right?
Correct. He's been on with us a couple times. And keep in mind, Chief Vaughn is pretty popular in the community. He's been there for a while.
I could tell by that little hearing they had, that public hearing a couple of days ago, where one woman called the mayor a, quote, son of a gun. I could tell they were very upset.
Right. So basically, this little back and forth has been some drama on the South Side. If you're listening right now, if you're Mayor Jim Cooney or you work in the staff of Mayor Jim Cooney, Vince Lombardi's got a question for you. What the hell's going on out here? You don't like the dude, so you come up with some ridiculous bullcrap reason to blow him out?
What was the reason? It was something about the turning over disciplinary papers or
not following orders was technically what they said.
Documents pertaining to certain police officers and things like that.
Correct. Now, keep in mind, Southport's police department is a pretty small group. We're not talking about hundreds and hundreds of officers here. It's a pretty tight-knit group. Chief Vaughn's been there for a while. And again, respected and liked in the community. But for whatever reason, Mayor Jim Cooney has got some sort of beef against this dude. So he had him whacked, but the public, you know, they got all up in arms and they were going to the meetings, and now all of a sudden they had some come to Jesus meeting and the chief is back in his role in Southport. So Thomas Vaughn is back being the chief in Southport. They had a big meeting last night. Again, the public was all on the side of the chief. Here's the mayor of Southport.
We agreed to collaborate and communicate in a much better fashion than we had previously, which is all good for Southport.
And here is the former and now current again chief of police, Thomas Vaughn.
You know, I can't have a family and worrying about if I'm going to get fired in the middle of the night by an email. So we talked about that. He was all on board for that. I'm proud that we were able to sit down and talk it out, debate different issues, and come up with a common ground that we can both live with. And the winners in this are the community. It got ugly, and that's too bad. I wish that never happened, but I think the outcome is going to make us stronger than before.
So the lesson here, again, Mayor Jim Cooney or staff of him that are listening right now, know your role. You're not as popular as the chief.
Yeah.
You need the chief of police. Cut the crap. So I'm glad the situation's over.
Something kind of similar happened in Zionsville a few years ago when a certain female mayor by the name of Emily came in and tried to mix things up with the fire chief and a bunch of different things like that, and lots of needless, wasteful lawsuits. Very unpopular 4 years.
An unnecessary move that creates a pain in the ass. That's what it was. Did former Mayor Emily drop any F-bombs? That was kind of her thing, wasn't it? She was the effing mayor?
Yes, I'm the effing mayor of Zionsville. At least it's how she put it on social media.
On this date, 47 years ago, 1977, Elvis Presley died at the age of 42. He was in his Graceland mansion, suffered a coronary arrhythmia.
Was he on the toilet?
That's what I believe was on the can at Graceland. Was only 42, though. I thought he was a little bit older, but only 42 years old, Elvis Presley. And this is going to bring us to great moments in Elvis Presley history.
Oh my.
This is when Donald Trump was speaking to a crowd and said that a lot of people said he looked like Elvis Presley.
But other than the blonde hair, when I was growing up, they said I looked like Elvis. You see that? Did you believe it? I always consider that a great compliment.
Yeah.
I don't see that one. I don't see that one.
Great moments in Elvis Presley history. If Elvis were alive today, he'd probably have some sort of residency in Las Vegas doing cover songs like Achy Breaky Heart.
Don't tell my heart, my achy breaky heart, I just don't think you'll understand. And if you tell my heart, my achy breaky heart, he might go up to cutest man.
Is this AI Elvis?
an achy breaky heart there. Great moments in Elvis history. Okay, Matt Bear, it's Friday. High school football, state fair. Get people where they need to be.
You got a hammer looking at Greenwood, southbound 65, crash after County Line Road. It's reported that we have a vehicle off the road in the right lane blocked. A little bit of a slowdown as we see there right now. And inbound 65, stop and go 21st to Meridian Pad. Inbound 69, stop and go traffic 96th Street to 465. Eastbound 465 slows from Keystone Avenue over to Allisonville Road. Traffic sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Your small business keeps you on the go. Progressive Commercial Insurance keeps your policy within reach with their easy-to-use mobile app. Learn more at progressivecommercial.com. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Hey, Matthew.
Hey.
Bring your taint in here and do some radio with us.
Myself and my taint is coming.
All right. Get to the YouTube stream. We'll put a dedicated camera on the traffic beast, Matt Bear. We'll do that coming up here in just a moment. It's 83 right now at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. It's Beer Sample Friday on the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Hammer and Nigel here, inviting you to join us as we kick off the weekend every Friday around 5:45 with Beer Sample Friday, brought to you by our friends at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus.
Whether you're dropping them off for their first day of school or they're driving themselves for the first time, we know you have enough on your mind. That's why Hubler's got you and your family covered for 100,000 miles. So head back to school in a Hubler Q-certified vehicle, including a 128-point vehicle inspection and a free Carfax history report. Shop any of our 12 locations and choose from Chevys, Fords, GMCs, Buicks, Nissans, Acuras, Mazdas, Hondas, and many more. Over 2,000 vehicles. All makes, all models, certified vehicles, luxury vehicles, even the hard-to-find ones. Head back to school with peace of mind, knowing Hubler's got you covered for 100,000 miles.
Hubler's got you covered.
Visit drivehubler.com or any of our 12 locations.
Hubler's got you covered.
Warranty on select models less than 9 years old.
Close your eyes and picture it. The warm sun on your face. The sound of waves lapping against the shore. What if I told you that feeling of summer relaxation could be yours all year round? At Howard Bailey Financial, we specialize in retirement planning that lets you embrace that summer state of mind every day. Imagine knowing that your future is secure. With our expert advisors, we'll craft a personalized retirement plan tailored to your dreams. Whether it's traveling the world or pursuing your passions, we'll ensure that your retirement is as carefree and fulfilling as a relaxing summer afternoon. Embrace a summer state of mind and text SUMMER to 888-494-5004 to download our complimentary retirement toolkit and experience your retirement planning with confidence.
This endorsement was not provided by a client of Howard Bailey. This individual was compensated for this endorsement. For more information, visit howardbailey.com/TSY.
Hey, it's Big Joe for Absolute Comfort, your trusted independent American Standard Air dealer. Owner Chris Wedekin sells the ductless Mitsubishi electric mini split, which is a great option to heat and cool individual spaces while blending into the decor.
You want your poker room to be dressed up, you could take a vinyl wrap and put on these. If you like the more modern look, they have styles in black, silver, and pearl white that would be more aesthetically pleasing for your rooms.
Find out more at AbsoluteComfort.org. Absolute Comfort is your trusted independent American Standard Air Mitsubishi Electric Elite Ductless Pro dealer.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use? Now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career and they talked to me about it.
He was done in just months.
I did do it online.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months with zero experience at My Computer Career.
It worked for me and I know it can work for you.
It's not rocket science. It's mycomputercareer.edu.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
That's right. My name is Nigel. Jason Hammer is here with a very special in-studio guest.
The traffic beasts, Matthew McConaughey.
All right.
Sweet traffic bastard. How are you?
I'm sorry, I'm busy looking up pictures of conservative congresswomen with their tattoos right now.
That's a trend out on social media.
Who-
Hot conservative women posting bikini pictures.
My girl.
Who they send today? Bobert?
Lorena Bobbitt.
Lauren Boebert.
Lauren Boebert, thank you. I always get it wrong.
Bobbitt.
She was, Lorena Bobbitt was a,
Yes, we
a
all
figure of my youth, and I never get the name right. Lorena.
And don't sleep on Florida Rep Anna Paulina Luna.
I've got her pulled
She's
up
got
on my
some,
phone. Woo!
Swimsuit photos out there as well.
Good Lord.
When is Matt Bear going to put swimsuit pictures out there?
Oh, they're up somewhere. I just I tried to erase my digital footprint, but I don't know. I feel weird about that kind of stuff, guys. I mean, because I notice people that I work out with sometimes, and they have like these pictures all over Instagram of them working out. You know they're filtered. You know they're doctored. I just feel skeezy, like a sleaze if I'm doing that.
You're not on the gram?
No, I mean, I'm on the gram. I don't do anything with it. But I'm like, I'm like, if I actually like started like trying to put a brand together, like a workout brand, I think I could get followers, and I think I might be able to monetize it. But at the same time, it's like, hey, look, I worked out today. Here's my pump. Look at my pump, everybody. And it's just, I don't know. It doesn't feel right.
I'd pay to see Matt Bear's pump.
Thank you.
I've never been more uncomfortable in my entire life.
Oh, you know you would too. Everybody would, right? No, I don't know. It doesn't seem like me. That's all.
Well, we'll talk about your pumping a little bit later on. Talk to me about road construction this weekend.
Yeah, it's horrible. Beginning tonight, we have a couple of things going on. First off, we have this construction happening on the west side. We just got through it last week, like around Wednesday. It's northbound 465 from 70 up to 74 Crawfordsville Road. The lane restrictions are going to be on the left side of the northbound side this time instead of the right side. So that's going to start tonight and go into Wednesday morning.
What time tonight? Because we got high school football
9 o'clock
starting tonight.
9 p.m., 8 to 9 p.m. somewhere is when they're supposed to start dropping the barrels.
Okay, so somebody in theory could be leaving a high school football game and get stuck in this crap.
I'm glad you said that. There is a potential. Like, what's a West Side school in you guys? Ben Davis.
Ben Davis.
Yeah, Ben Davis would be a big one. So you please be careful. Watch out for that. And you could have unexpected delays. I'm a rush hour jock. That's the way I think. But yeah, we could have delays starting tonight. This will go into next week during rush hour.
So overnight? Overnight, it's right. Are they working overnight?
Yeah, they'll begin working overnight.
Those guys get paid, man. They probably make bank.
It's such a dangerous job too, man.
I know.
Enough to afford a lot of cigarettes, because I see those guys smoking all the time.
Drove by construction zone, they had a PS5 out beyond a Hoosier Helper.
And listen, cigarettes aren't cheap, so they have to make good money, because I see these dudes on the side of the road just smoking all the time.
Michigan Street Conversion Project. Every time I go down there, everybody just hanging out, you know. That's happening. And then on the south side, the road construction, I know I-69 is done from Evansville to Indianapolis. You can like exit wherever you want, and it's all cool and everything. But the construction, we are far from being finished right now. And this could go on until the end of the year. We have this awful construction zone on 465 that runs from 70 over to Harding. And tonight, a couple of ramps do close. They're important ones. They're westbound 465 to Harding, and then Harding to eastbound 465. And I know that's confusing as hell, but that starts tonight, lasts for 60 days. Okay, that's the plan. This is I know, I see you shaking your head, and everybody's shaking their head right now, because after the 60 days, then they're going to do the other side of the interchange, meaning eastbound 465.
And this is all while downtown is still basically all locked up. So if you're somebody that has to get from the west side to downtown, like I am, you can't even bail off on a side road, because once you get to a certain part of Washington Street, and I'm going to channel my inner Rob Kendall here, it's closed!
Because there are no streets to drive on. No, I feel you, and it's bad. By the way, did Illinois open up at Georgia finally? I know that was supposed to be done in July. As you're coming up, it's like Illinois South Street. There was a corridor.
I don't
there.
believe so.
Okay, it was supposed to be done in July. All right, that's downtown right now. Everything is torn to hell, and it's really difficult to get around. I feel bad. I bumped into one of our coworkers in the bathroom, and I feel bad about that to begin with. But I'm always
was he standing at the urinal when you bumped into him?
He was standing. I was sitting.
He
whatever,
was sitting down in a stall, and
we all do our own thing, okay? But I'm always in such a mood whenever I drive in here. And guys, I mean, I sound like such a b-boy right now because my commute should be no longer than 5 minutes. I mean, I live at the end of Mass Ave. It's an easy commute. But my God, the obstacles you face from going to Mass Ave to Monument Circle right now, it's a game of Frogger. That's usually the pedestrians, the people out on the street. No, it's people in crappy little cars like me who drive sports cars for teenage girls.
Matt Baer, the traffic beast, very calm, very cool, joining us here in studio. You are one of the hosts of Supporting Sobriety, a podcast about those battling addiction. It's something for those who are currently going through that, but it's also something for those who care for the people going through that. What is the clip we've got today?
We're going to talk to, as the Americans with Disabilities Act passed way back in 1990, it's basically saying that, yeah, as employees, we have rights and, therefore HR departments and everything else. But we want the caregiver to know that if you know your addict or alcoholic's rights at the workplace, that is one more utility, one more tool in your toolbox you can use to help encourage them to go to rehab. And this isn't the sexiest clip, but this episode was so outstanding. And you're going to hear just a pinch of Susan Ryder. Do we have that, Allison? Can we play that, please? I had a moment with my current boss, still my boss, was in his office one day, and I was intoxicated, and I gave him a half-full bottle of vodka. Now, at that time, because I was intoxicated at work, he could have terminated my employment, and I would not have been protected under the ADA. Is that correct?
Correct. Yes,
okay.
That is correct.
Okay, and I wanted to keep it quick because here's the thing, and this is so key in sobriety and recovery. If we get out in front of this, and when we, meaning me, a recovering alcoholic, and my awesome partner, anchor of the morning news, Ryan Hedrick, here at WIBC, if we get out in front of it, if we make that admission to human resources, our boss, whoever it might be, and say, yeah, I have a problem, I need help, our chances of keeping our job and our careers intact increase exponentially.
You have to trust other people to help you.
You have to trust. That is so well said, Haber. You have to trust other people.
So basically, if somebody is saying, like, boy, I really want to go to rehab, but I don't want to lose my job, that's not how it works.
Bingo.
You got to say, because of the Americans with Disabilities Act.
Right. Now, and that's the importance of this episode, is we go through when you're protected and when you're not. If I show up to work and I'm drunk, there's a very good chance I'm not protected by the ADA.
Right.
If you are getting stoned before or after work and you have a rigorous policy at your workplace, say you're a machinist, say you're with the FBI, say you have top security clearance, there's a very good chance you're going to lose your job. These protections are limited, and they're limited really by our own behavior. It's up to us. Again, it's up to the addict, the alcoholic, to make that final decision. We have to be proactive, and now the caregiver, by listening to this episode, can encourage us, be like, hey, you might keep your job, but you got to go do this, man. Yeah.
Check out the podcast, Supporting Sobriety. Matt Baer is a damn rock star. Matt, you're the best. Thank you.
Love you guys. Thank you for having us on, and I appreciate all you do very much so.
It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
The crew from Galaxy Concrete Coatings came out and within a day gave me a brand new garage floor. Unlike anything I'd ever seen, my neighbors were jealous. They were like, man, is that like epoxy? What did they do? No, it's not epoxy. That's the old stuff the other guys use. These new concrete coatings use polyurea, the new premium standard for coatings. 4 times stronger, easy to clean, still looks great after a full year of use. Now I need Galaxy Concrete to come down to my basement to put a coating in my furnace room. They do garages, basements, pool decks, any indoor or outdoor concrete. Check out their website, galaxyconcretecoatings.com, or give them a call, 751-9070.
It's happening. Indiana is investing in our hometowns. Statewide, each region selected the local projects most important to our quality of life. And with the help of Indiana Ready grants, real progress is all around us. A $3 million Ready grant is helping build our new Shelby County Early Learning Center. By early December, local toddlers will have access to high-quality care and education. A $250,000 Ready grant for a new Decatur County ADA Accessible Inclusion Park will allow all our children to play and grow and thrive. It took bold thinking and working together to put Ready into action. And there's more to come. Learn more at IndianaReady.com. That's IndianaReadi.com. Brought to you by the Indiana Economic Development Corporation. ForTheBold.com.
Family Talk with Straight Talk.
You give and you give. It's time to get with Straight Talk Wireless. You get a reliable 5G network and unlimited data, and you get to choose who joins your family plan starting as low as $25 a line.
Does it have to be family?
It can be family or people you like.
Get more lines and more savings. Switch to Straight Talk for family plans starting as low as $25 a line per month for 4 lines. Find us at Walmart and StraightTalk.com. For network management practices, visit StraightTalk.com. Family plan discount with 4 lines, all on the Silver Unlimited plan. Taxes and fees apply.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer whenever I want?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. 94% of Sleep Number smart sleepers report better sleep. And now, during our biggest sale of the year, save 50% on the Sleep Number Limited Edition Smart Bed, plus free home delivery on select smart beds when you add any base. Limited time. To find a store near you, visit sleepnumber.com.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Don't think that you're going to get some clear skies this weekend. 84 degrees, few clouds currently over the circle, no rain in the radar. Low temps dip just below 70 tonight. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 3:32. Severe weather is not likely when scattered rain is expected to fall across Indiana this weekend, but
just can't rule out that a few showers and storms may produce damaging winds, especially into the day tomorrow as we have stuff develop in the afternoon.
Mike Ryan with the National Weather Service in Indianapolis says once the weekend's over, it should be less humid and the threat of rain is likely going to go away. An escaped North Carolina inmate was found after several days of looking for him. Ramon Alston was found about 100 miles away from where he got away.
Today, Alston is in a cell at the high security maximum control unit at Granville Correctional Center. Granville is the most secure unit in our state prison system.
Secretary of Department of Adult Correction Todd Ishii. Alston had gotten away while he was being taken to the hospital Tuesday. He's currently serving a life sentence for murder. Don't think he's getting out of that anytime soon. Police departments are having trouble hiring, and it's all because of politics. So says Republican vice presidential candidate J.D. Vance.
A lot of the reason that it's hard to recruit police officers right now is because our leaders have attacked the police for so long that a lot of people just don't want to do police work anymore. That is the first thing that leadership needs to change.
Vance is speaking at a campaign event in Milwaukee, Wisconsin today. He says staffing within police departments won't be a problem if Donald Trump's elected this November. And Indianapolis is thinking about making some changes to Georgia Street. Mayor Joe Hogshead says roughly $50 million in TIF money will be used to pay for those changes, along with 9 other projects.
I would suggest that we have no intention of slowing down, but our 2025 spending plans are about more than keeping up with what we've been doing.
Part of that would include rehabilitating 2 Union Station underpasses, which he says will help maintain and support cultural trail development. He says it'll also help the Indiana Convention Center. The whole plan needs approval from the City-County Council. You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 3:34.
People are talking about Window Nation. Their Window Nation customer, Vicky, says, we couldn't be happier. This was a great experience. She's just one of over 33,000 5-star reviews. That's because Window Nation is all about the value. And this August, they're giving you great value during the Window Nation anniversary sale. Right now, buy 2 windows, get 2 free, plus no interest or payments for 24 months. And if you act now, you'll get an extra $250 credit.
Window Nation values your satisfaction in their quality, service, and affordability. That's why they stand behind their windows with a lifetime warranty. Window Nation was also recently ranked highest on Forbes' list of best window installation companies. So you can trust Window Nation for high-quality, affordable windows. Hurry, this big sale ends August 31st. Schedule that in-home estimate right now at 866-90-NATION or visit windownation.com.
With traffic at 335, what's going on, Matt Bear?
Harrison Cathedral High School on East 56th Street. If you're there, watch out. There is a fallen tree on both directions as East 56th Street, so there's an obstruction there and could slow you down a little bit. Inbound 69 slows 29th to Meridian Pad. East side southbound 465 drags an inch from 70 to Brookville Road, and eastbound 465 stop and go traffic Westfield Boulevard to the White River. Traffic sponsored by B Window. Now employee owned. B Window is celebrating this month with employee pricing for everyone. Get 60% off plus 18 months, no interest or payments. Trust your home to B. Visit bwindow.com for details. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
This Friday evening, we're looking at a few clouds around with maybe a below 20% chance of a stray shower popping into the forecast. Low temperatures drop to 69 degrees, winds out of the southwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Drew Narsutis for 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox on the level on the go and on WIBC.com.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
And my name is Nigel. That is Jason Hammer right over there with a very special guest on the hotline.
Tommy Pigott is the Strategic Communications Director for the RNC. You can see some of his work on the popular handle at RNC Research. Tommy, next week, the Democrats get their time to shine. Their convention is next week. How is it going to differ than what we saw with the Republicans in Milwaukee a few weeks ago?
Well, I think the first thing is they're just going to deny reality straight out of the gate. I mean, they're going to say that the world is more peaceful, that our border is more secure, that the economy is better than it was 4 years ago. That's not true on any of those metrics. And the American people know it. The American people see the chaos around the world. The American people see the economy really hammering middle-class families. They see the worst border crisis in U.S. history. So I think that's the biggest difference off the bat. And I think just how extreme this Democrat Party has gone under Kamala Harris, you just need to look to today's proposal from Kamala Harris, where she is proposing Soviet-style price controls, trying to bring them to America on food, price controls that have only led to breadlines, shortages, and poverty. It's like she saw Nicolas Maduro's Venezuela and thought, let's bring those policies here. It's completely ridiculous and absurd, and yet she's actively promoting it today. It's absolutely astonishing.
Yeah, I mean, look, the economic rollout, her plan is something that's just head-scratching, Tommy, to me. And that, along with some of the other policies that have been kind of trickling out over the past couple of weeks. I mean, she was copying Donald Trump's idea of giving tax breaks to
hospitality workers.
Yeah, hospitality workers, getting rid of tips and stuff like that. And I'm just wondering from your overall assessment of how the campaign on Kamala Harris's behalf, how that campaign has been going compared to Donald Trump's.
Well, she's completely fake. She is completely fake. She's adopting these policies, trying to change her policies, when in reality, when it comes to ending taxes on tips, she sent the IRS after tipped workers. She sent the IRS after them in 2023. She was the deciding vote to expand audits on the middle class. Her record shows what her policies would be, and it's going after tipped workers. It's going after working Americans. That's her policy. So she can try to flip-flop, but in reality, the only person that's going to deliver no taxes on tips for workers is President Trump. And then when it comes to the other aspects of her plan, she's trying to erase her radical record, but then she comes out with something like I said, these price controls. I mean, it really is astonishing to me that she has a Soviet-style price control scheme as the central tenet of her economic plan. Even the CNN economists and Washington Post are calling her out for this. And then the last point that she's bringing up today, these housing market changes, we see the results of her policies right now. 99% of the zip codes in America are considered unaffordable when it comes to the housing market under Kamala Harris. The price of building materials have increased. The price of rent has skyrocketed over 20%. Mortgage rates are at multi-decade highs, making it harder than ever to afford a mortgage. Those are the results of her policies. So she's going out here trying to erase her record, erase her radical history. But in reality, we see her policies, they failed, and we also know the impacts of the policies she's proposing, which are these Soviet-style price controls.
And let me piggyback on that by asking you about her campaign and how they're convinced that avoiding the media
is working. I mean, we see this, right? She hasn't sat down for an interview since she had, specifically subverted Joe Biden and took his spot. Is her campaign, is that working for her, in other words? Is that what I'm saying?
Well, I think the media was quick to give her a honeymoon off the beginning, and I think we saw that continually. But if you look at recent interviews that have happened where even CNN now is asking members of the Harris campaign why Kamala Harris won't give a press conference, and then the Harris campaign responds by laughing at them, literally laughing in their face during these interviews. And I think that's a recipe for people to start saying, hey, wait a minute, this is not a laughing matter. We need to answer questions. I think we're seeing that tide start to turn. And ultimately, I think the main point of this is, why won't she do a press conference or interview? And there's no good answer for it. An honest politician, after deposing their party's nominee, the first thing they would have done is host a press conference. I mean, Kamala Harris is not an honest politician by any stretch of the imagination, but that's what they would have done. Answer questions, put people's mind at ease, say, why are you throwing out 14 million Democrat primary votes? Instead, it's been 26 days, no questions answered. Ultimately, the American people want to have their questions answered. And when you think, why won't you do a press conference or interview? The only answer that I can think of is that even her own campaign doesn't trust her to answer questions.
Right. That's what it is, Tommy, because let's be honest, the national media has been lifting her up, holding her out there like that scene in The Lion King, like young Simba. They've been lifting her up, carrying this campaign. The media is friendly to her, and she still won't speak to them.
Yeah, and it's if you remember back to 2019, 2020, when she first ran for president, it was these interviews that sunk her campaign. It was the fact that she couldn't answer basic questions. She was out there, and every single time that Bernie Sanders would sponsor a new legislation or AOC would suggest a new tax rate or a Green New Deal proposal, Kamala Harris would adopt it right off the bat. Then she was asked basic questions like, how do you pay for a $93 trillion Green New Deal? Of course, there's no way to pay for it, but that's what sunk her campaign because she couldn't answer those questions. So I think that's the history lesson that they're navigating off of, saying that Kamala Harris was forced out of the race because of her disastrous interviews, so we don't want to have her answering these questions. So when it comes to all of these radical positions she's had, one of the pitfalls that she's facing is that they're all on tape. So she can try to erase it, but she's never publicly disavowed any of them. And I think that's going to be one of the reasons why she has to do an interview and press conference, because she can have her campaign staffers come out and insist she no longer supports these proposals, but she's never publicly disavowed them. And when she pushes things like price controls, it actually suggests that she's just as radical as ever.
Tommy Pigott is our guest, strategic comms director for the RNC. Tommy, we've spent a lot of time talking about the presidential race and the nominees for vice president. Let's talk a little down ballot right now. Let's talk about the Senate. Where are we at right now with the Republicans trying to win back the Senate? What are some of the key races that you're focused on?
Republicans are clearly playing offense to take back the Senate. I mean, West Virginia, for example, with Joe Manchin not running, seems like Republicans have the clear advantage there. President Trump was in Montana just recently to try to really help encourage the ouster of John Tester from the Senate. John Tester, who's been really a rubber stamp for Kamala Harris's dangerous agenda the entire time. And then the list of states goes on. I mean, the Republicans are clearly playing offense given the Senate map that we're on right now, but also given the fact that Kamala Harris's record is such a disaster. And I think when you look down ballot, I mean, there's serious questions. I mean, President Trump, when he was in Montana, asked people there saying, do you want a government policy that purposely reduces red meat consumption like Kamala Harris supports? And of course, the answer from the people there was no. But that's a clear question that we need to have answered, because Kamala Harris wants to enforce these federal mandates. And I think a lot of down ballot races, for example, in Pennsylvania, where Kamala Harris has a history of opposing fracking, and not just opposing fracking, actively seeking to undermine it. I think a lot of voters in Pennsylvania are going to have pause about that and really question Bob Casey for why he supports Kamala Harris, why he's endorsed Kamala Harris. Those are serious questions for down ballot Democrats. And the more that her radical record is exposed, the more that it affects those Democrats.
Tommy Pigott, Strategic Communications Director for the RNC at RNC Research. Tommy, great stuff as always. We'll talk again next week.
Thanks for having me on. Have a good weekend.
It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Listen up, Hoosier. This is Gunny speaking, and I'm here to tell you what Senator Todd Young is doing about the mess Biden's creating at the border. The Laken Riley Act ain't no walk in the park, soldier. It's a mission to secure our border. When illegals think they can just waltz in and wreak havoc, they got another thing coming. Senator Young's legislation is going to lock them down tighter than a drum. Young ain't just sitting around saluting. No, sir. He's stopping flow of fentanyl like it's enemy number one. fighting the flow of fentanyl into Indiana from our southern border, and recognizing that it's causing Hoosier families to lose loved ones far too soon. Joe Biden is responsible for this crisis, and Todd is stopping him. It's time to build the wall, enforce tough immigration laws. Todd Young, a Marine fighting to protect Hoosiers. Hoorah! Paid for by Hoosier Honor Pack. Hoosier Honor Pack is responsible for the content of this advertising, not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. Learn more at HoosierHonor.com.
Your Indiana State Fair is here. Join us to celebrate the best of summertime.
Join us for the final weekend of sunny skies and State Fair fun. Only a few more days of more family fun and memories. More than 100 free things to do at the fair. Grab tickets at IndianaStateFair.com.
Enjoy the sounds and sights at this year's fair, where there's more to see and do than you ever knew. Celebrate the art and nature of fun. Presented by Newfields, August 2nd through 18th. It's only here, but once a year.
Hey, don't take your eyes off the road, just listen. What you hear right now, your customers hear it too. Get your message heard. Text BUSINESS to 71007 now. Get results with Radio 1.
Have you lost Indiana Medicaid? At healthcare.gov, you can find a low-cost, quality health plan.
Do plans cover doctor visits?
What about emergency care?
And prescriptions?
All covered and more. Plus, with the new law, 4 out of 5 customers can find a plan for $10 or less per month with financial help. Healthcare.gov is here for you. Enroll today for coverage starting the 1st of next month. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
To celebrate Be Employee Owned, Be's offering employee pricing 60% off plus 18 months, no interest, no payment.
Proud to be employee owned. Trust me.
Matt Bear, we got a lot of stuff going on tonight. How are the roads?
Hammer, we just had a big hit on the east side here. I'm looking at westbound. Here it is. Westbound 70 at Arlington Avenue. It is a crash. And 3 right lanes are blocked right now. We do see a vehicle, and there's an ambulance on the scene. That's the only emergency vehicle there right now. The one lane you can pass through is just covered in debris right now. Again, this is westbound 70 at Arlington Avenue, like you're heading towards Indianapolis. Traffic jammed up to Shadeland Avenue. Please be careful. Lots of slow as you proceed through. Eastbound 70 slows West Street to the south split. Inbound 65 stop and go from 21st to Meridian Penn. And at Cathedral High School on East 56th Street, report of a tree down that's obstructing both directions of East 56th Street. Again, be careful, please. Traffic sponsored by B Window. Now employee owned. B Window is celebrating this month with employee pricing for everyone. Get 60% off plus 18 months. No interest or payments. Trust your home to B. Visit bwindow.com for details. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Coming up a little bit after 4 o'clock, you are going to want to hear this conversation. A gentleman named Jim Bowden is going to be calling into our program. He is part of the family that had that awful murder-suicide take place earlier in the week. Yeah. The husband and the wife lost their life. The kids were shot. I believe the wife was his niece. He wants to talk about the situation. So that's going to be a powerful conversation coming up a little bit after 4 o'clock. You do not want to miss that. 84 right now at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center at 93 WIBC.
Yeah. What up? This is Dr. Dre. The party's going on. Thank God it's Friday.
The Hammer and Nigel Show.
Oh, boy. How about this debate on Reddit, Hammer? Quote, I'm a single mom who recently started dating this guy. He's great. We always have a good time, but he likes to go out 2 to 3 times a week, and I'm fine with that. But every time we go out, I got to hire a babysitter, and it's starting to get quite expensive. Am I a jerk for asking him to kick in some money for the babysitter? Should the dude chip in?
So if the dude's going out with her multiple times a week, I'm willing to bet they're doing the hibbity-dibbity.
Sure.
So I'm going to say yes. If the dude wants to keep clapping them cheeks, he should probably put in a few bucks.
Clapping them cheeks.
That's the scientific breakdown.
Okay.
Let me get Allison in the mix here. So, Allison, put yourself in the position of this mom. You're dating this dude. Things are going great. You're going out 2-3 times a week. You guys are drinking, getting naked. Everything's great. But then you realize, man, this is getting pretty expensive. Would you ask him to chip in for a babysitter?
I'm thinking of myself as in the position as the guy. Like if I was dating a guy who had to find a babysitter for his kids, and if it's a casual thing, no, I'm not going to pay for the babysitter.
And by the way, what are the guys paying everything? Paying for everything else?
That's a good point.
Paying for dinner, paying for the movie, paying for the
now, if it
drinks.
becomes serious and they're engaged, and obviously, like he's going to become part of the family, that's a different conversation. But casually dating at the beginning and then asking to pay for a babysitter, I don't know.
And okay, we'll go down this avenue. The quality of being a parent here comes into question, doesn't it? This single mom going out 3-4 times a week.
Okay.
Getting babysitters.
Hell yeah, Nige. Spit all over her. Kick that single mom to the curb. Let's go, Nige. Bring that heat.
Yeah,
you tell that horrible mother, get it together.
Moms don't deserve to go out ever.
No.
Well, she's saying 3 times a week. I think that's a little
ridiculous. Out of 7 days a week.
Allison, 3 days, I think that's a little unreasonable for being a single mom. I do.
If you can't afford to go out 3 times a week,
that's another aspect. Yeah.
Maybe you don't go out. But as the dude, listen, I spend a lot of money on stupid crap. I gamble a lot. I buy a lot of bourbon. I buy a lot of beer. I have no problem pitching in for a babysitter because I know I'm going to get lucky that night.
Yeah, but it's your kids.
Huh? Not my kids if I'm the dude.
Oh, I thought you were saying in your situation.
No.
Yeah.
I might have kids elsewhere. I don't know. But in this certain situation, no dice. None whatsoever. So hit us up on social media at Hammer and Nigel. Should the dude chip in for the babysitter? He wants to go out 2 or 3 times a week with the single mom. She loves it. They're hot. They're heavy. They're into it. But she's also broke as a joke. So she needs a little help. Is it okay to ask the dude, what would you do in that situation? At Hammer and Nigel. That's the question.
Does the mom have a tattoo on the top of her butt?
Oh, the old quarter slot area?
Yeah.
The tramp stamp area?
Probably assume. Yeah.
Would that make a difference? Like, you're willing to pay if there's a tramp stamp, you're not if it's clean?
Or vice versa.
Tramp stamp, single mom going out 4 nights a week, you probably got a tramp stamp.
Jeez, Nigel.
Yeah. Oh, I'm making all sorts of assumptions here.
I love it.
All sorts of generalizations. I ain't scared.
I am.
Dateline Detroit. A judge in Detroit put a 15-year-old girl in handcuffs and threatened her with jail time because she fell asleep in court during a field trip. He has officially been taken off the bench while undergoing sensitivity training. Here is Judge Kenneth King interacting with the teenager and talking about why he did what he did.
You fall asleep in my courtroom one more time and put you in the back, understood?
That's not something that normally happens, but I felt compelled to do it because I didn't like the child's attitude. I haven't been disrespected like that in a very long time.
I'm going to go to sleep tonight while you're sitting in the juvenile detention facility.
Was I really going to do that? Probably not. Could I have? Probably so. But that's not what I want to do to a kid who's there on a field trip. Okay. So that was my own version of scared straight.
So 15-year-old girl in handcuffs. Again, she wasn't there because she broke the law in any way, shape, or form. She didn't get busted for drugs or something. She was there on a school field trip and got so bored by this judge that she fell asleep during his, I don't know what it was, he giving a presentation or something like that in the courtroom?
Right. Probably talking about, the legal system.
Guy's a jerk. I don't know that he needs to be removed from the bench, but yeah, you're not arresting a 15-year-old girl who can't keep her eyes open on a field trip. I was confused as to whether or not this girl was there with her school or she got busted for a crime or something. You're telling me this idiot judge was threatening her with handcuffs and jail time as a student?
Would it make a difference if, as soon as all the kids got into the classroom, the judge said, anybody that falls asleep, we're going to handcuff you and lock you up. And then out of a sign of defiance, she fell asleep. Because if that's the case, I'm almost team judge here. You lock that little witch up, put her away. I'm good with that.
How dare you?
Wait, but you were just crapping on the single mom a second ago. Now I'm the bad guy.
With the tramp stamp.
Coming up next, man, this is going to be wild. I have no idea what to expect in this conversation. A gentleman reached out to us through the email and said he wanted to talk about this murder-suicide that took place in Indy this past week.
Yeah, he's part of the family.
He's part of the family. We're going to have that conversation next.
So I came to Advent because I was experiencing recurrent sinus infections. As a new mom, it was really kind of difficult.
Many of our patients complain of sinus infections. The headaches, fatigue, and nasal stuffiness have a profound effect on their lives.
I just felt like your sickness starts affecting your energy level and, the things that you really enjoy doing. That really was a breaking point for me.
So Molly came to Advent. Abnormally tight sinuses and swollen turbinates led to simple breathing triangle solutions that ended up taking about 20 minutes in office. And very soon thereafter, she was breathing freely.
I'm just in awe at the amount of air that that I'm able to breathe in and out each night, and I haven't had a sinus infection since the procedure.
I'm Dr. Madan Kandula. When you breathe well, you do live better.
Results may vary.
Jay's Lobster and Fish Market there in the Garage Food Hall, Bottleworks District, downtown Indy. We know Jay personally, and Jay knows his seafood. Jay is bringing the East Coast home to Indiana. We all know about the world-famous lobster rolls, but don't forget about the lobster grilled cheese and more.
And also at the Garage Food Hall, Palavana Cubano. I love the Cuban Reuben and the authentic Cuban coffee. Woohoo! It's got a little kick to it. Palavana Cubano. Tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you.
Hey, checking in?
This is not just your flu shot appointment at Walgreens.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
This is getting your entire family vaccinated in one trip.
Hey, Mom?
And a snack on the way out. Get flu shots for everyone in your family, together. Schedule appointments online today. This is wellness made easy. Walgreens.
Vaccine subject to availability and for ages 3+. State and health-related restrictions may apply.
Hey, John, why so glum?
I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the third time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. mycomputercareer.edu.
Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GI Bill.
Summers in Indy are great, but don't spend it painting. Do what your neighbor Don did. He called Rhino Shield.
Well, the home was built in 1948. Paint on the aluminum siding was peeling, and I couldn't find anyone who would repaint it until I called Rhino Shield.
Rhino Shield's better than paint. And the crew?
Painted all my aluminum siding, and I've got a front porch that runs the whole length of the house and all the pillars. And once they were gone, I couldn't even tell that they were there.
Right now, get the guaranteed protection of Rhino Shield for 10% off the regular price. Plus, there's more great news. Rhino Shield is partnered with Green Sky Financing to offer no payments until 2026 for qualified buyers.
Well, I've told a lot of people, do the Rhino Shield. It's really a great product, and that would be the way to go.
And here's Rhino Shield's Shane Smith.
Call me at 888-RHINO-41. That's 888-RHINO-41.
Don't paint. Go Rhino.
Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Hey, this is Spencer Thompson at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus. Save hundreds, even thousands off the sale price on all in-stock Berlin Gardens and Polywood outdoor furniture. All dining sets, all sofas, sectionals, Adirondack chairs, umbrellas, everything must go. Plus, large Big Green Egg demos are $7.95. Hurry in to Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus.
Coming up in 2 minutes, Ryan Hedrick reports on a new and powerful drug that was found in central Indiana. IMPD officers are looking into a shooting northeast of downtown that happened this afternoon and remembering the police officer who died while serving nearly 20 years ago. Those stories and more coming up after Fox News Radio from the Technology Recyclers studios. You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's 4 o'clock.
She's pledging to build an opportunity economy. Lisa Brady, Fox News.
And key to creating this opportunity economy is building up our middle class.
Vice President Kamala Harris laying out an economic agenda that targets costs with a first-ever federal ban on grocery price gouging and steps to fuel more home building while also addressing housing costs.
In addition, while we work on the housing shortage, my administration will provide first-time home buyers with $25,000 to help with the down payment on a new home.
Speaking in battleground North Carolina, Harris says former President Trump would raise costs for middle-class families. The former president says Harris is admitting that Biden-Harris policies have failed. President Biden says Gaza ceasefire talks are closer than they've ever been.
But we're not there yet. But it's much, much closer than it was 3 days ago.
This after 2 days of talks with mediators from the U.S., Egypt, and Qatar wrapped up in Doha with plans to reconvene next week in Cairo. The mediators presenting Israel and Hamas with proposals aimed at bridging remaining gaps. In Florida, a woman has just been convicted in the fatal shooting of a black neighbor during a long-running dispute about children playing loudly outside her home. 60-year-old Susan Lawrence, who's white, found guilty by an all-white jury after just 2.5 hours of deliberations. She faces up to 30 years in prison. Lawrence claimed self-defense, telling detectives in a videotaped interview she feared for her life as 35-year-old A.J. Owens was pounding on her door. Prosecutors say there is no evidence Lawrence was in any imminent danger. Stocks finish higher, the Dow up 96 points at the bell. America is listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
It's a concern. Cloudy with temperatures in the 80s downtown. Your radar's clear, 69. That's your low tonight. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 4:02. A man from central Indiana died when he overdosed on a drug called nitazene. Ryan Hedrick explains what it is.
The drug has been around since the 1950s, and it started as a replacement for morphine, but now it's showing up in toxicology reports, and it's killing people, says Hamilton County Coroner Jeff Jellison.
It's being referred to as the Frankenstein drug because of how powerful it is.
Jellison tells Wish TV that nitazene doesn't show up on drug screens. The drug is 60 times more powerful than fentanyl. Ryan Hedrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Someone's in critical condition after they were shot this afternoon near East 30th and Ralston Avenue, says IMPD. That's northeast of downtown, not far from Douglas Golf Course. IMPD is still looking into exactly what happened. The Department of Metropolitan Development wants to eliminate a lane of traffic on Georgia Street between Illinois Street and Capitol Avenue. Indianapolis Mayor Joe Hogsett says it would be part of the city's spending plan for next year.
This coming year is going to be about supporting the people who got us here in the first place.
He says the plan is to make it a green space and outdoor event space to help out the Indiana Convention Center. It would still need approval from the City County Council to get a full green light. You're not totally done with rain in Indiana for now.
There will be periodic chances for showers and thunderstorms. I think they'll focus primarily during the afternoons and evenings on Saturday and Sunday.
After that, Mike Ryan with the National Weather Service says humidity drops, and there won't be many chances for rain beyond Tuesday next week. He ran towards gunfire to protect his fellow officers. That's how Indy Metro Police Commander Ron Hicks describes the late IMPD officer Jake Laird, who was killed in the line of duty nearly 20 years ago.
This memorial stone in front of our roll call is an enduring testament to the quality of person Jake was and how he put the safety and well-being of others above his own.
Because of Laird's death, the General Assembly passed Jake's Law. It makes it easier for police to seize the weapons of the mentally ill and require a judge's order to have them released. You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 4:04.
Sinus pain. You know it all too well. It's constant. It's frustrating. The pressure, the headaches, the snoring, the constant clogged feeling. You're tired of feeling like this, but you've tried nasal sprays, over-the-counter medicines, even home remedies. No matter what you try, nothing gives you lasting sinus relief. You're tired of missing out and feeling miserable. There is something you can do, something different. Indianapolis Sinus Center. The physicians at Indianapolis Sinus Center have been serving the community with proven treatments for over 50 years. They know what you're going through, and they're standing by ready to offer you the best treatments to provide long-term relief. Breathe better. You don't have to keep suffering from sinus pain. Call Indianapolis Sinus Center today at 317-528-9650 and take the first step toward relief. 317-528-9650. That's 317-528-9650 or go to IndianapolisSinusCenter.com.
And with traffic on the 5s at 4:05, here's Matt Bear.
All right, Harrison, on the east side, crash westbound 70 at Arlington Avenue. Prompts to the crews for getting this mess over to the right shoulder. That's where it is. All lanes just reopened with traffic stop to stop and go back to I-70. Front of the line should clear out a little bit, but please still be careful. Looking at inbound 65 slow from 29th to Meridian Penn. Inbound 69 stop and go 96th Street to 82nd. Crash Brownsburg, State Road 267 at Main Street, Green Street and Main Street. Authorities asking people to avoid if you can. Traffic sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Your small business keeps you on the go. Progressive Commercial Insurance keeps your policy within reach with their easy-to-use mobile app. Learn more at progressivecommercial.com. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Thank you, Matt. And here's the forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
This Friday evening, we're looking at a few clouds around with maybe a below 20% chance of a stray shower popping into the forecast. Low temperatures drop to 69 degrees, winds out of the southwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Drew Narsutis for 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox on the level on the go and on WIBC.com.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show on 93 WIBC.
My name is Nigel. Jason Hammer is here with a very special guest on the hotline.
Just a heartbreaking story in the news recently. A murder-suicide taking the life of a husband, a wife. Children were also shot in this situation. An awful story. And Jim Bowman joins us right now. Jim, it's my understanding that Ashley Nolan, the victim in this shooting, one of the victims, was your niece. Is that correct?
That is correct, Ashley Nolan, my sister's daughter.
Okay, so before we get into any sort of conversation about what happened, why it happened, tell us about Ashley. What kind of person was Ashley?
Ashley, she was very sweet. The type of person that always wanted to help others. She became a Christian when she was 6 years old. She asked her mommy one night before going to bed about going to heaven. Right then she prayed to receive Jesus as her Savior, and she got saved. And it was real. I mean, she lived that life her entire 41 years, and she made sure she faithfully took her daughters to church every week.
Jim, take us through what happened. When did you find out about what happened? Did it surprise you?
Yes, it surprised me like any news like that would surprise someone. It all fell apart going into 9 o'clock p.m. on Monday night, and the neighbors heard a gunshot, and the girls, both teenage girls, one girl, of course they're minors, so I got to be careful to kind of keep them out of this, but one just turned 13, the other turned 15. Dad and Mom were in the backyard arguing. There was a gunshot wound that went off, and then Dad came in the house and proceeded to shoot both daughters, and then he went back outside to the backyard, must have wanted to check on his wife. And then he came back in, and he was, at that time, he had came to himself, because I would almost venture to say anybody like that would be in a total rage. He finally came to himself and was very sorry, very remorseful, saying it out loud, I'm sorry, because this all was on the 911 call, because the youngest made a 911 call and wasn't able to talk on the phone because Dad was right there at the bedrooms. Both girls were in their bedrooms. And but the phone was left on, and the 911 operator got every bit of the call. So he had remorse, and then when the police were coming, he heard the sirens, and he went back out to the backyard and took his own life.
What do we know about him and his background and how something like this could have taken place in any way, shape, or form.
I remember you, Nigel, you and Hammer had an interview with a gentleman either earlier this year or something. He had gone through an investigation where he had witnessed something, and it took him many, many years. And he had stopped a suicide on himself because he didn't want his daughters or something to find him. And
he was a first responder. Yeah,
he was a first responder, and it took him many, many years to finally get over that. He reported that he's all right now. I remember that story, so that's why I thought I would want to share my nephew Tom's story. You know, he first met Ashley probably 20, 21 years ago. Nice, tall man, 6'6", 6'7", nice-looking man. Not a loudmouth, very reserved, independent, in charge of himself. He'd come into a room, he'd make his presence known, greet everybody, just really nice. But then early in 2000-ish, 2001, he took a job with IMPD as a reserve officer. And he was also involved in the canine unit because he always had dogs. And he loved being a police officer. But his mother and dad noticed a change in him just 2 years after being on the force. And I want to tell Tom's story because I want to tell it from a perspective of first responders, like we said already.
Yeah, they see some pretty traumatic things.
Yes. As a reserve officer, we think, okay, they get a car, they park in their driveway, they have to work, 16, 20 hours a month. And they're basically just there as a reserve. But Tom, as a first responder, saw a lot of activity. I have not been able to see his police record, so I don't know all the facts, but I've heard family talk. I heard he was involved in a couple of shootings, may have taken life. He was also the first responder. I do know this. He was the first responder to the Southport officer Aaron Allen shooting in 2017. He was there and pulled Officer Allen out, and I remember his wife said that he couldn't sleep because he'd wake up and have that visual of him having 13 shots, and so obviously, I don't know if he was treated with IMPD or he had counseling, but being the kind of man Tom was, hey, I'm fine, I'm okay, don't worry about me, I'm a man's man, handle it. But events like that, it all depends on what type of personality you are. If you're a personality that can deal with that sort of thing, maybe a little bit harder personality, yeah, maybe so. But if you're someone like me, or maybe someone like a lot of folks, you have a sensitive personality, you may never get over seeing something like that.
Hey, Jim, do you forgive Tom?
Absolutely. I'm a Christian myself, and I know we live in a sinful world. I forgive Tom. I knew Tom, but the Tom that I knew at family gatherings is not the Tom that he became. He became a man that we believe as a family had PTSD that he tried to treat with alcohol. And it was not beer, it was liquor. And, it was progressive. It just didn't happen overnight. It was something that happened over 2-3 years that just would get worse and worse and worse. And it finally came to a horrible, tragic end on Monday night.
I know the daughters are underage. Can you give us an update, any sort of update on how they're doing, what kind of condition they're in?
And yes, that's why I want to talk to you guys, because I've listened to you for several years.
Thank you.
And I know you have outreach to the community and doing a lot of God's work, whether you know it or not. The girls, it's just by God's grace that they weren't killed. They take after their dad. They're very tall. The youngest daughter is 5'10", and very, very thin, just skinny because she's grown so fast. The oldest, that's Delaney. The oldest daughter is Jillian. Jillian is 5'8", I believe, also very tall and thin. Both girls are beautiful. On my Facebook page, you will see the GoFundMe and the pictures, but both girls suffered multiple shots. Jillian, the oldest, took 2 shots to the upper chest, and I'm surprised if it wasn't for God's grace, it would have killed her instantly. But it didn't hit, neither bullet hit vital organs, didn't hit the spinal cord, So she took 2 shots to the upper chest and then one shot to her right hand where she must have had it up as a defense, and she suffered a lot of damage to the hand where they had to remove an artery from her leg to replace in her hand that supplies blood to her hand. So she's going to have some real physical therapy there. Jillian's doing fantastic.
Good.
Even though she suffered that many gunshot wounds, she's doing well. Saw her in her hospital bed. She's beautiful. Lainey, the younger one, she suffered 2 bullets through her hip area, pretty much destroyed her hip on one side, and she's going to need additional surgery. They were able to get in and put what's in there back together, but she's going to have additional surgery, probably hip replacement, which will probably be something she has to deal with the rest of her life on that.
Well, we're praying for you, Jim. We're praying for the Nolan family. We're praying for the girls. And I know I saw in the Indy Star article there was a GoFundMe for the girls.
There is a GoFundMe. You can go on Facebook, Instagram, type in James Bowman. I will pop up. I started that GoFundMe, and it's doing very well. We have always heard how people pull together. Total strangers are giving, family, friends, the church. We're going to have to go live with Grandma and Grandpa. We're trying to get the house ready because, it needs a bathroom, 2-bedroom, single bath. I've already had a company step in, and say they would help with the single bath. And then we need to get another bathroom built off the back bedroom. And I'm trying to get some help on that. But we just want to, these girls are young, and the world just hasn't been very good to them in their young lives. And we want to make sure that changes immediately.
Well, Jim, we appreciate you sharing the story of Ashley and Tom and the daughters, everything that went on, a story of faith, a story of believing, and we're wishing you nothing but the best. And please keep us up to date on the GoFundMe and the things that you guys need to help the girls.
Okay, and thanks, everyone. I appreciate your prayers. Thank you, Hammer and Nigel. And I will keep you up to date because I know in a crisis like this, tragedy, people want to give and they want to do their part. And I want to give people that opportunity.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Matt Bear has a look at the roads.
Hammer east side crash westbound 78 Arlington Avenue. It's blocking the right shoulder, causing stop-and-go traffic back to 465. Brownsburg, if you can, stay out of Green Street and Main Street. That's 267 and 136. This is because of a crash, and authorities are asking people to stay clear if you can. Inbound 65 stop-and-go, 29th to Meridian Penn. Eastbound 70 slow to downtown. That's Belmont to Meridian, Illinois. Traffic sponsored by Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield. They've teamed up with the Indiana Fever and Common Threads to provide local schools with information for nutritious meal preparation. Learn more at anthem.com/fever. Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield is the trade name of Anthem Insurance Companies Incorporated. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
I have shared that GoFundMe on the Hammer and Nigel Show Facebook and Twitter. Okay, so just go at Hammer and Nigel on Twitter, X. You'll see the link. Same thing on Facebook. You might have to go to the page because of our restrictions. It might not pop up in your feed. Facebook.com/Hammer and Nigel. That GoFundMe is up there. And if you can help out these girls, that would be great. Because I think the most chilling thing that guy said was life hasn't been very good to these girls. And we got to do our part to fix that. 84 right now at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. Let's have some fun. Let's shift gears. Let's laugh. Let's play Is This Anything? Next.
High five. Up top. Heck yeah.
Dave's company just got the first ever 5-year price lock guarantee from Comcast Business.
Yeah, 5 years.
It's 5 years of gig speed internet.
High five for gig speed.
5 years of advanced security.
Security win.
And 5 years of a great rate that won't change.
Our rate ain't changing.
All from the company with 99.9% network reliability.
There it is.
He hasn't given this many high fives since Deborah brought in her famous banana bread.
Woohoo!
Now he's got savings.
I'm so excited.
Yep. Dave's feeling it, but it's only for a limited time, so don't wait. Switch today and ask how to get the first ever 5-year price lock guarantee from Comcast Business. Powering 5 years of savings. Powering possibilities. Comcast Business.
And it's hurting, but I am not stopping. Woo!
Ends 8/21/24. Guaranteed rate applies to monthly service charge for new customers on qualifying internet bundle, excluding taxes and fees. Other restrictions apply.
Life's full of unexpected joys, like problems with water. That's why there's Michaelis, a crew of 24/7 experts who are rescue ready, day or night, one phone call, for a gazillion disasters. Over 3 decades of restoring your home or business to better than new condition. Water, storms, fire, and wet basements. Life happens. Michaelis happens to help you through it. Call 844-FIX-INDY. Make it Michaelis.
Your home is your sanctuary. Get the peace of mind you deserve with a free estimate on a Generac automatic standby generator for your home from Generator Supercenter, the nation's #1 Generac generator dealer. With expert installation and 24-hour monitoring, Generator Supercenter won't leave you in the dark. Financing is available. Take control of your power today with Generator Supercenter. Call 317-827-0808. Generator Supercenter of Indianapolis, 317-827-0808.
Hey, checking in?
This is not just your flu shot appointment at Walgreens.
Yes.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
This is getting your entire family vaccinated in one trip.
Hey, Mom?
And a snack on the way out. Get flu shots for everyone in your family, together. Schedule appointments online today. This is wellness made easy. Walgreens.
Vaccine subject to availability and for ages 3+. State and health-related restrictions may apply.
Hammer and Nigel presents
It depends upon what the meaning of the word is.
Is this anything?
All right, let's rock and roll.
Oh, man, somebody's paying for this. We're brought to you by Tom Roush Lincoln Hammer. Tom Roush Lincoln. Get great deals at Tom Roush Lincoln in Fisher.
Allison, one time. Give it to me. It's Friday.
Roush!
Is this anything? A coffee shop in New York is in the news because they're charging customers $10 a day to use their Wi-Fi.
So?
One resident went to TikTok to complain about the new pricing model.
If you thought living in New York City was expensive, now we must pay to take our laptops out at coffee shops, and that's not free anymore. That's not a free right in our community. This place is charging $10 a day, $30 a month, or $300 a year for you to be able to use your laptop that you pay for and sit there in their cafe to use their...
Oh my gosh, if I would have been in that coffee shop and saw this person spouting off about how this business, she's entitled to their free Wi-Fi, I would have picked up her laptop and broke it over my knee, like Sammy Sosa does when he's mad that he got a strike and he does it over his knee, breaks the bat, you know?
Go into a roid rage?
I would have... I mean, yeah, Rage Monster. I cannot believe somebody. Was she trolling us? Is this some sort of joke?
Now, to be fair, just devil's advocate here, like coffee houses for a long time have been the place where you set up your laptop, you work on your screenplay, you write your music. That's kind of been the thing. And then she wakes up one day, goes to the same shop, and it's an extra $10.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Biden's economy. Bidenflation. Time to start paying what you owe. You're going to come in here, drink our coffee, and sit there for 10 hours, spend $10 on one cup of coffee, but use our internet for 3 hours? It's a private business. They can do whatever they want. You're not entitled to free internet. It's not a right.
In my mind, Nigel's like
almighty.
Bluto in Animal House, where he takes the guy's guitar and just smashes it, hands it back to him. Sorry.
I wouldn't apologize.
Is this anything? A Texas woman officially has the world's widest tongue.
I saw this. Yeah, I posted this on X.
3.1 inches wide for Brittany. Here she is talking about her wide-ass tongue.
From a young age, my family would kind of make a joke about it, so I guess I've known from when I was pretty young that my tongue was larger than most people's. My best friend Sarah sent me a link to the previous record holder's video, and so I guess that inspired me to see if my tongue was actually wider than hers.
Wow. Yeah. Can you get on X? Get on our account, scroll down a few posts, and see Brittany's 3-inch wide tongue.
Scrolling. Okay. Hold on.
You find it?
Oh, wow. It's like she got stung by a scorpion or a bee or something. Wow.
I always had this go-to joke that I would tell about tongues, but it kept falling flat because it was tasteless. Allison, it's tasteless. It's a tasteless joke about tongues.
Is this anything?
Yes.
Imagine this lady's horror to arrive at the check-in counter and learn that she's been banned by American Airlines for allegedly joining the Mile High Club with her dude on the last flight.
Oh, no.
Here's 24-year-old Erin Wright, who says they got it wrong.
I went to check into my flight on my phone and it didn't work. So when I got to the airport, I went to the kiosk and it also errored. I just went to the help desk and it errors for them too. And they're like, let us call someone and get it fixed. They get off the phone and she's like, you've actually been banned from flying American Airlines. And I was like, what did I get banned for? She was like, it's an issue of internal security. I can't tell you. I then finally get an email from corporate security telling me that I have been banned because I was having sexual relations with a man on a flight while intoxicated. Well, let me tell you, I am a 24-year-old lesbian. Finally hear back from corporate security. I get a call being like, hey, we've reviewed your case, so we're going to take you off the no-fly list. So I ended up on the American Airlines no-fly list by accident, and I'm now out $1,000.
Not only that, but I weigh 350 pounds, and there's no way I could have fit me and another fatty in there to do it. So there's no way. I hate the way they talk on TikTok. Imagine this lady's horror to arrive at the check-in counter and learn that she's been banned by American Airlines for allegedly... I don't care about this person. No, this is nothing.
I want to go back to your tongue joke for a moment.
Yes.
Today is National Tell Someone a Joke Day. So maybe I was being a little harsh on the tongue joke. Maybe you're just being topical because it is National Tell Someone a Joke Day.
Okay.
So I'm sorry that I made fun of that awful joke that you told on the show that brought all the energy to a screeching halt. I didn't know you were being topical. That's on me.
Okay. Apology accepted.
It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Here's a real-life story that affects 50% of all of us out there. It's called divorce. If you've gotten divorced and now you're struggling to pay your bills and your credit card debts are completely out of control, you need to call this special debt relief hotline right now. We help people with all kinds of money problems caused by different life challenges, a divorce, a job loss, even heavy medical bills. All these life events can sometimes financially stress you out and cause you to get out of control. We help people get their lives back by showing them ways to consolidate and reduce their debt, in some cases for a fraction of what they owe. If your credit card balances are more than $10,000, call us and learn how to reduce your credit card bills and monthly payments now. Here's our number.
Paid for by Debt.com. Call now at 800-810-1820. 800-810-1820. 800-810-1820. That's 800-810-1820.
Let's talk about my future. Tomorrow's gonna be here before you know it. And so is the expense for me to go to college or trade school. Room and board, books, tuition, there's a lot of things to pay for. That's why it's important to start saving. Indiana 529 is a great way to save while getting tax advantages now. Visit myindiana529.com to start for as little as $10. We will both be happy you did. Please read the disclosure booklet carefully before investing. Sponsored by Indiana 529.
Hey, this is Spencer Thompson at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus. Save hundreds, even thousands off the sale price on all in-stock Berlin Gardens and Pollywood outdoor furniture. All dining sets, all sofas, sectionals, Adirondack chairs, umbrellas, everything must go. Plus, large Big Green Egg demos are $7.95. Hurry in to Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus.
We all have people in our lives we interact with. Maybe it's your favorite barista, a neighbor who waves to you every morning, a coworker you grab lunch with, or maybe it's me, the hairstylist you've gone to for years. What if you learned I had a substance use disorder? Would it change how you see me? It's okay to see the addiction, but when you choose to see the person, not just their disease, it can help change someone's life. Learn more at cbeyondtheaddiction.org.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
When more rain could show up, 84 degrees with a few clouds over the circle. No rain on your radar, low of 69 tonight. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 4:30. Severe weather is not likely when scattered rain's expected to fall in most of the state this weekend, but
just can't rule out that a few showers and storms may produce damaging winds, especially into the day tomorrow as we have stuff develop in the afternoon.
Mike Ryan with the National Weather Service says once the weekend's over, it's going to be less humid and the threat for rain is going to go away. Vice President Kamala Harris announced a plan to try and reduce corporate price gouging. Fox's Jackie Heinrich reports.
The VP's two biggest pieces of her economic agenda are getting pretty mixed reviews. The most controversial one is expanding the authority of the FTC to create a ban on price gouging for groceries and food.
Next week, Harris is expected to accept her party's nomination for president at the DNC in Chicago. Ramon Alston got away from North Carolina police while he was being taken to the hospital Tuesday. Secretary of Department of Adult Corrections Todd Ishii says they found him.
He will resume serving his life sentence there and could face additional charges related to his escape.
Talking about Alston going back to prison. He had been found guilty of murdering someone on Christmas Day 9 years ago. And the Metro police officer Jake Laird was killed on August 18th in 2004. Since then, many ceremonies and events have honored his memory, but the biggest impact comes from the foundation his parents created in his name.
Since its inception, the Jake Laird Memorial Fund has donated over $1.3 million back to police and fire agencies all across the state of Indiana.
IMPD Commander Ron Hicks had a ceremony at the south side of Indianapolis this afternoon. And stocks ending in the positive to close the week. The Dow was up by 96 to 40,659. The NASDAQ up by 37 to 17,631. The S&P 500 finishing in the green by 11 to 5,554. You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 4:32.
I'm embarrassed to say this. I've been using deodorant on my armpits for 30 years, and anytime I noticed odor anywhere else, I thought I needed another shower, I wasn't clean, or I felt like there was something wrong with me. And then my gynecologist told me about Lumi. It's a whole body deodorant for pits, feet, and privates that controls odor anywhere and everywhere on your body. Since Lumi, I never have to worry about body odor ever again, anywhere on my body. And that reassurance is worth every penny.
There's a special offer for listeners. Use code SHOWER and get 15% off your first purchase with code SHOWER, like the Lumi Starter Pack, Acidified Body Wash, or new Lumi Plus Sweat Control. That's LUMEdeodorant.com, code SHOWER for 15% off your first purchase. With over 200,000 five-star reviews, I am so sure you're going to love it. Or return it for free with Lumi's 60-day money-back guarantee. That's LUMEdeodorant.com, code SHOWER to save 15% today.
With traffic at 4:33, here's Matt Baer.
Crash just cleared southbound 69 and 96th Street. We are still backed up to 106. We have a stall on Fall Creek Road. It's between Hague Road and Boy Scout Road. It's affecting both directions right now. It's going northbound, but the southbound side also affected. I'd find another way around here for the moment, although you can get through. Looking at southbound 65 slows 21st to Meridian Penn. Crash. This is US 31 at Stop 12 Road. Do avoid. Crash in Brownsburg, Main Street at Green Street or State Road 267 at 136. Traffic sponsored by B Window, now employee owned. B Window is celebrating this month with employee pricing for everyone. Get 60% off plus 18 months, no interest or payments. Trust your home to B. Visit bwindow.com for details. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
This Friday evening, we're looking at a few clouds around with maybe a below 20% chance of a stray shower popping into the forecast. Low temperatures drop to 69 degrees, winds out of the southwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Drew Narsutis for 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox on the level on the go and on WIBC.com.
It's not like you.
It's the Hammer and Nigel show. My name is Nigel. Jason Hammer is here. Breitbart.com has been excellent in covering the Trump campaign as well as the Kamala Harris campaign, their presidential runs. Nobody better at analysis than senior editor at large, Joel Pollack. Going to fill us in on everything we need to know. His new book drops next week. It's called The Agenda, What Trump Should Do in His First 100 Days. Joel, how are you?
I'm excellent. I'm on the beach in California. What could be better?
I can hear the waves. You son of a. All right. Well, we'll get to the book. We'll get to Trump. I want to know your overall thoughts on Kamala Harris. She seems to be hiding out ever since she undercut Joe Biden, and I know she's rolling out some new economic policy today. But your overall impression of the campaign her and Tim Walz had been running the past couple of weeks.
Okay, so the strategy that Kamala Harris and Tim Walz have been running has been successful because they have reached out to Democrats, and they're just talking to Democrats. They're not trying to reach independents. But by the same measurement, it's unsuccessful because you don't win a presidential race simply by appealing to your own side. The very choice of Tim Walz was a failure to attract independents. They should have gone with Josh Shapiro, independent, swing state, Pennsylvania, 19 electoral votes. They didn't do that. So they're not really reaching out. This is a losing strategy, actually, by Kamala Harris and Tim Walz. It doesn't mean they can't win because, as we all know, you got to still put points on the board, right? Yeah. Trump can stop their side from scoring touchdowns, but if he goes 3 and out, he's not going to win. So what Trump has to do, and this is what I talk about in the agenda, is he has to reach his own voters. And the thing that Trump voters are most worried about is that they can't win. They're really terrified that this thing is rigged. And when you look at how Kamala Harris was chosen as the candidate, it seems rigged, and it was rigged within the Democratic Party. But there is enough enthusiasm out there for Trump as a candidate for him to overcome the so-called margin of fraud. He can overcome the advantage that Democrats have through vote by mail. He can overcome the media bias. He can do all that, but he's got to present an inspiring vision of what it looks like on day one when he wins. And that's why I wrote the agenda. I wanted to lay it out there. And, I was really upset about Trump being convicted in New York of the bogus charges. And I was upset and frustrated. And how can our country become a third world banana republic and all that? And, I don't like sitting around in negative feelings for too long. I decided to take a positive approach. And I said, all right, let's just pretend this is all something that Trump will overcome. And what does the world look like on January 20th, 2025? What can he do as president? And remember, he's going to have to do it quickly because if he does win, the media are going to turn the narrative. They're going to say, oh, he's a lame duck president. He can't run for re-election. Let's talk about the candidates for 2028. So they're not going to give him a chance to govern. So he's got to come in there with things he can do. I see Kamala Harris is out there with proposals for all kinds of money from the federal government for this and money for that. Well, you can't do that unless you pass it through Congress. She's making promises she can't deliver on because whatever she says she's going to do, you've got to get through a Senate filibuster, or you're going to have to get through a Republican Senate at least because the Republicans are going to win the Senate just because of the math this year. What I want to do is say, listen, Trump's not going to have to wait for Congress. Here are over 200 executive orders, executive actions, policy changes, memoranda, whatever, that he can do on his own on day one. So he can promise this to the American people. He doesn't have to wait for Congress. And remember, in 2017, we saw that even a Republican Congress wasn't enough to allow Trump to execute his agenda. So let's give people a sense of what is possible and what is going to happen if Trump wins. That's why I wrote the agenda. I think that's what he has to do. He has to say, look, I know how you guys are feeling. The media is totally against us. That's because they work for the Democratic Party. They are out there to turn out the Democratic Party vote. Don't get all hung up on that. Don't get sad about that. We are going to renew this country, and we can do it if we participate in this process. Yes, it's a flawed process. Yes, we've got to do what they're doing, which is to harvest ballots where it's legal to do so and so forth. We have to do all this nonsense. But we're so much more enthusiastic, and we have a positive vision of the future. All they have is socialism. All they have are lies and hoaxes, and all they have are left-wing promises that go nowhere. Look at California, where Kamala Harris is from. I mean, I'm here. The beach is amazing. It's the one thing they haven't managed to ruin. But She hasn't fixed anything in her own home state. There's a staggering homelessness problem here. People are leaving the state because of the high cost of living. We have wildfires that the state doesn't get under control, even though it could. We have high poverty, in fact, the highest poverty rate in the country. We have all kinds of problems that she isn't fixing, and they're not going to fix it in Chicago either. I mean, the convention is going to be in Chicago. I grew up in Chicago. When I went to the Democratic Convention as a reporter in 1996, Chicago was an example of great governance by a market-oriented, centrist, Democratic Clinton administration, Daley administration. Now Chicago is an example of what goes wrong when the left gets into office, because crime is through the roof, taxes are through the roof, people are leaving, the economy's down, the schools are terrible. So Democrats can't actually offer anything. Trump can. He's got a record in office, and he's got good policies, and that's what I show in the agenda. I based my policy suggestions on things Trump would do. I didn't work with the Trump campaign. This isn't Project 2025. I didn't work with the Heritage Foundation. This is just based on what I know Trump can do, what he has done in the past, and what he's capable of. So I think Trump's got to be positive and inspire people, and he's the only candidate who could do that. If there's any candidate in the race who could take what the media are calling a polling problem for Trump as Harris surges, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
If anybody can overcome it, it's Trump, by helping people think about a positive vision of the future. Nobody's a better salesman than Trump. And all he's got to do is convince Republicans and Trump voters that they just need to execute the plan. They want this. They've got to want it more than the other side, and they can. He can show them the vision of what the future looks like.
Joel, Jason Hammer here. So you bring up the polling, and yes, it looks like Kamala is still in that honeymoon period. Next week's the DNC. Even if there's going to be mass riots and chaos from the group that they helped embolden, Kamala probably still going to get a little bit of a bump from the convention next week. How important is that debate, which might be the only debate between Donald Trump and Kamala Harris in terms of Trump being able to win back momentum?
I have good news and bad news for you. I'll give you the bad news first. The debate doesn't matter. Republicans are waiting for this moment when everyone will finally see that Kamala is a fraud and she can't talk and her policies are terrible and all that. That's never going to happen. Democrats would vote for a popsicle on a stick as long as it was alive. You know what? I mean, seriously, it's a miracle Biden was even close. It's just that the media was telling Democrats for 6 weeks or however many weeks it was that he had done badly in the debate. That's when his poll numbers plummeted, and they were trying to force him out of the race. But it doesn't matter how badly she does. What Trump just has to use the debates to do is get his own message out to his own supporters and convince them that he's confident of victory. And he can do that. He's actually showing some of that confidence this week. He's gotten better and better with each appearance. So the debates are important, but only as a means for Trump to communicate to his own voters. It doesn't matter if he beats her, because the Democrats are going to tell their supporters that she won. You know that the PR people have these press releases queued up before the debate even begins saying Kamala won and she smashed him and she destroyed him. And they're not going to even watch the debate. They're just going to watch the little clips they get sent of Kamala lying about this or that and the moderator butting in and whatever. So don't wait for some moment where Kamala is going to be exposed as a fraud. The Democratic Party base knows she's a fraud. That's why they didn't vote for her in 2020. She didn't even make it to the primaries in 2020. She crashed out in 2019. They're participating in the fraud. They're suspending their disbelief, and they are playing along with the media, pretending that she's good. They know she isn't, okay? And the rude awakening would come if she ever won and had to take office and try to start implementing anything. It would be the same team that's ruined everything under Biden. It's all the same people. They would just play musical chairs and take different jobs. Like, I hear that Pete Buttigieg wants to be UN ambassador.
Oh, boy.
This is a guy who, in the middle of that CrowdStrike Microsoft outage when all the flights were down across the country a couple Fridays ago, he found his way here to Hollywood, and he was on the Bill Maher show, yucking it up with comedians. This is a guy who can't do a job, but he wants a promotion to UN ambassador. That's all Kamala Harris offers. She just offers the same people, the same policies. And I think people are going to realize that. She's a new face, quote unquote, because she's not Biden, but she's been around for more than 2 decades. She's never achieved anything, never accomplished anything other than getting elected to the next office. And I don't think that you're going to make a dent in the Democrats because they know this. They didn't vote for her in 2019. When they had a choice They didn't vote for her. You know, I have a friend who grew up in the Soviet Union, my friend Paul in Chicago, and he used to tell me in high school, because he left in middle school, he came to the States in high school, and he used to say, what I learned in the Soviet Union was when you have no options, you always make the right choice. And that's how Democrats are. You know, they've got no options, so now they're pretending Kamala is the best thing since sliced bread. But they know she's not. But you're not going to convince them to change. You're just not.
And the fact that she's been hiding from the media and the press, that's the strategy, correct? I mean, the campaign is convinced that avoiding the media is working.
Right, and the conventional wisdom is that it's a winning strategy because getting more exposure to the media for her views and her incompetence and her silly mannerisms can only hurt her.
Yep.
But actually, it's a losing strategy. You know, it's a better strategy than making herself completely available to the media, and then but it's still a losing strategy because she's not going to reach the independents and the swing state voters that she needs to reach in order to win the election.
Yep.
Those voters are there for Trump to get, and all he has to do is make the case and reach out to them. He should go to as many diners as he can. You know, back in Illinois, we used to say, rallies don't vote. Yard signs don't vote. You know, you've got to get out there and actually go door to door and shake hands. And even if you're just meeting people one by one, as long as the word gets out that you're talking to voters, people will feel like you're asking for their vote. So that's what he's got to do. He's got to communicate directly to his people.
All right. There he is, senior editor-at-large, Joe Pollack for Breitbart News, Breitbart.com. The new book comes out next week, The Agenda, What Trump Should Do in His First 100 Days. Joe, we'll let you get back to the beach, man. Enjoy your weekend, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, guys. Have a great summer for the rest of it.
It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Whether you're dropping them off for their first day of school or they're driving themselves for the first time, we know you have enough on your mind. That's why Hubler's got you and your family covered for 100,000 miles. So head back to school in a Hubler Q-certified vehicle, including a 128-point vehicle inspection and a free Carfax history report. Shop any of our 12 locations and choose from Chevys, Fords, GMCs, Buicks, Nissans, Acuras, Mazdas, Hondas, and many more. Over 2,000 vehicles. All makes, all models, certified vehicles, luxury vehicles, even the hard-to-find ones. Head back to school with peace of mind, knowing Hubler's got you covered for 100,000 miles.
Hubler's got you covered.
Visit drivehubler.com or any of our 12 locations.
Hubler's got you covered.
Warranty on select models less than 9 years old.
Eligible Hoosiers, listen up. We need you. Poll workers are essential to ensuring Hoosier elections are a success. We are calling on the next generation to fulfill your civic duty. Applications for election poll workers are needed. It's easy, and you get paid. If you're interested, just go to indianavoters.com and click Work Polls. The time is now. Get involved. Your county, your elections. This message is sponsored by your Indiana Secretary of State's office.
Healthcare.gov is here for you when life happens. If you lost your health coverage because of turning 26, going off Medicaid, leaving your job, or moving, you could be eligible to enroll in new coverage now. And if you need to update your coverage because of marriage or having a baby, you could also be eligible. But don't wait. There's a limited time to enroll. Check your eligibility at healthcare.gov today. Life happens. Get covered. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Sertoma Club of Greenwood's Whamfest, wine, art, music, and microbrew. This Saturday, August 17th, noon to 9, Craig Park in Greenwood. Presented by the Ray Skillman Automotive Group. Tickets at whamfest.com.
To celebrate, be employee-owned. Be's offering employee pricing 60% off, plus 18 months, no interest, no payment.
Proud to be employee-owned. Trust me.
Tailgates are back. Tailgate this Saturday from 4 to 7 p.m. at the parking lot at McCarty and Church Street before the Colts-Cardinals game. Brought to you by Jack Daniels, Twin Peaks, and Bud Light. Enjoy great food and drinks and register to win some great prizes. All ages are welcome and it's free to enter.
All right, this is the part of the show where we beg you to like the YouTube page. We're not above begging, right? So our digital department here says you've got to get more action on the YouTube feed. All right, fine. What do you want us to do? Get 100 likes. So I'm looking at our YouTube stream right now. The WIBC channel, they've got the in-studio cameras going. It's the Hammer and Nigel show. I think we're at 42 thumbs up, 42 likes. We have to get that over 100. So if you could do us a solid and hit that thumbs up, like the YouTube feed. I can get the digital people off of my backside for just a little bit. Help your brothers out here. That's all we're asking. All right, Matt Bear, what's up?
Northwest side, northbound 465 slows, 86th Street to 865. Eastbound 465 stop and go, Keystone Avenue to Allisonville Road. Inbound 65 slows, 21st to Meridian Penn, and westbound 70 slow to downtown from Emerson. Looking at the south side, eastbound 465, a pocket of slow here from I-70 to the White River, and a crash in Brownsburg. It's Green Street at Main Street. Traffic sponsored by B Window, now employee owned. B Window is celebrating this month with employee pricing for everyone. Get 60% off plus 18 months, no interest or payments. Trust your home to B. Visit bwindow.com for details. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Coming up next hour, about 5:30, Ethan Hatcher and Jerry Lopez. Ethan's got a great weekend show here Saturday night on the Circle. Jerry Lopez, Indy Spanglish, one of our great fill-ins. We're going to have a little group discussion. We're going to bring him in here at 5:30.
Little round table?
Little round table. And then after that, they're each going to do Celebrity Beer Bong.
A dual donger?
A dual donger.
Wait, a dual bonger.
Thanks for loaning me the donger. He's really bitching. 85 right now at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. This is the Hammer and Nigel Show.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Oh, man, there are a million of these videos online, but another fake. Have you seen these fake snake golf prank videos that are blowing up? This one's huge. It's so funny. So someone attached a fake snake to their friend's leg on the golf course, and I've seen hundreds of these. And the guy panicked, started running. He was running backwards, slammed his body straight into the golf cart.
Oh,
here's what it sounded like.
Shooting people who have a dead tree and let it fall on a neighbor's car. Look at that!
Oh, there it is.
I'm sorry. I don't like snakes.
It is so funny. Just look up fake snake golf prank. You'll find it on YouTube.
Dudes are awesome, man.
Especially out of the golf course. That kind of crap only takes place on the golf course.
I get why women live longer. I get it. But nobody has more fun than dudes.
But I would freak out, too, if somebody had secretly attached some sort of snake to my golf club or to my leg somehow. And it's like the guy's trying to run away from the snake, but the snake's following him because he's attached.
It's so good.
He slams into that golf cart. He didn't even see it. And yeah, bros being bros.
Great moments in snake history.
Oh, great.
This is one of our favorites. When you watch Snakes on a Plane, the Samuel L. Jackson movie on basic cable, and they have to edit it for TV.
Yes.
They don't beep things out. They change the words.
Enough is enough. I have had it with these monkey fighting snakes on this Monday to Friday plane. Everybody strap in.
Monkey fighting snakes on this Monday to Friday plane. That's not what he says.
And that makes no sense.
Dateline Maine. High school basketball coach from the great state of Maine may have broken a Guinness World Record by making 1,134 three-pointers in 1 hour.
Wait. In a row? Not in a row.
Not in a row, but makes
Okay.
in an hour. 1,134.
All right.
Here he is talking about the record.
We were just shooting around, really just messing around in the gym, and I made 104 threes in a row, which was, from what I know, the most I've ever made in a row. And then he's the one who said you should start going for some shooting world records. I kind of looked into it as training for a marathon. Nick and I made a chart of how I wanted to pace myself through it.
It's amazing to watch these guys that have just unbelievable talent, but they never really kind of make it past being a basketball coach or high school coach or anything like that. They have incredible talent. We've all seen it.
Right.
We saw your talent out in the Beech Grove basketball court.
There's eventually a cutoff to your talent, sure.
Yeah, but 1,100 three-pointers in an hour, that is pretty amazing. Wouldn't you say?
I
mean,
wonder
you tell
if
me.
if Steph Curry applied himself, Could he break that record? Now, I don't think Steph Curry has any interest in trying to break this record. He's going to enjoy his money and his championship rings.
Yeah, of course he could. He could beat Ryan, the high school basketball coach from Maine. But you're right. He doesn't have time nor the inclination or the desire to break a Guinness Book of World. How many did he hit in that final game in the Olympics against
4
France?
in the final minute and a half.
Incredible.
Just an unbelievable
But you're
heater.
right. A guy like Steph Curry would easily break that record, especially if he didn't have to hit him in a row.
Maybe we can talk Reggie Miller into it. You know, he's got some time in the offseason. He's retired now. He's still doing broadcasting, but I bet he can still stroke the 3. So maybe we can talk Reggie into coming out of retirement to break Ryan from Maine's record.
I'll let you handle that. Good luck with that.
Coming up here in just a moment, we've got information on the vice presidential debate. We've got information on the presidential debate. I'm actually impressed with what's going on here. Because I thought it was going to be a worst case scenario for Donald Trump doing this ABC News remote. It's not going to be debate, rather. It's not going to be as bad as I think it's going to be. Plus, we've got some good old-fashioned mask banning taking place in New York.
Mask banning?
Costco cracking down on people using counterfeit cards. And if you need a reason to drink, we've got that coming up. Also, Ethan Hatcher, Jerry Lopez, the gang's all here. Come on back. It's Beer Sample Friday here on the Hammer and Nigel Show.
You are going to want to get in on the action, especially if you're trying to sell your house before the new year, because it's projected that home prices are actually going to decline. So you're going to want to sell your house for maximum value. That's where the expert agent, proven to sell for top dollar, Mark Dietl, comes in. Mitch in Martinsville, his house was getting too big. He was looking to downsize. Heard about Mark Dietl on our show. Mark was able to get multiple offers within 48 hours and closed in 30 days.
And what separates Mark Dietl from the competition is the guarantee. Mark Dietl guarantees your home sold at a mutually agreed upon price and deadline, or he will buy it. You pick the move date, no long-term contracts. You can cancel at any time. That's what makes Mark Dietl the best. Call him today. 317-755-4232. That's 755-4232. Or go to markdeedle.com. That's Mark, D-I-E-T-E-L, markdeedle.com. Tell him Hammer and Nigel sent you.
Prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use? Now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career and they talked to me about it.
He was done in just months.
I did do it online.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months with zero experience at My Computer Career.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
It's not rocket science. It's mycomputercareer.edu.
Tony Katz here for Premier Arms in Brownsburg. This is your premier gun store. Premier Arms has the experience and know-how to help the new gun buyer and the most experienced marksman. They've been in business for over 20 years and have a friendly, knowledgeable staff that wants to help you, not talk down to you. Premier Arms in Brownsburg is family-friendly, so bring the kids. All ages are welcome. Everyone can find what they're looking for at Premier Arms in Brownsburg, 3754 South Green Street. Online at premierarms.com. Tell them Tony Katz sent you. premierarms.com.
It's common knowledge that after age 30, our metabolism changes. We have less energy and gain weight easier. There's a way to feel better, not in years or months, but sometimes in just days.
I'm Chuck Norris. I tried everything. Working with a team of health experts, we came up with Morning Kick. Morning Kick is a revolutionary new formula that combines all my favorite supplements into one daily drink.
Morning Kick has probiotics to help you lose weight, prebiotics for digestion, superfoods for muscles and joints, and powerful anti-aging supplements. It'll help you feel youthful, energized, and helps manage stress.
I look and feel better than I have in years.
Go to roundhouseprovisions.com, use code EASY, or text EASY to 511-511 and claim 40% off. Roundhouseprovisions.com, code EASY.
Every purchase comes with our 90-day money-back guarantee. You could be feeling these changes within just a couple of days.
Text EASY to 511-511.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Tax fees may apply.
Coming up in 2 minutes, chances for rain Saturday. A drug that's responsible for an overdose in Fishers, and another ruling on a motion in the Delphi case. It's coming up after Fox News Radio from the Technology Recycler Studios. You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's 5 o'clock.
The cost of living is on the ballot. Lisa Brady, Fox News. Vice President Kamala Harris rolling out her economic agenda in Raleigh, North Carolina.
Building up the middle class will be a defining goal of my presidency, because I strongly believe when the middle class is strong, America is strong.
Harris says lowering the cost of living is part of that.
As president, I will take on the high costs that matter most to most Americans, like the cost of food.
Harris says bread and meat prices are about 50% higher than before the pandemic, even though supply chains have recovered. Her agenda would support a federal ban on price gouging by food producers and grocers. It also includes proposals aimed at lowering housing costs, including a $40 billion fund to spur housing construction and $25,000 in down payment assistance for first-time homebuyers. Former President Trump just posting a response.
He writes this: if you think things are expensive now, they will get 100 times worse if Kamala gets 4 years as president. Under her plan, Kamala will implement Soviet-style price controls. She will abolish private health care and make California's ridiculous tax policies a law of the land, meaning every American will be taxed up to 80% of their income. If you want more cash and less tax, vote Trump.
Fox's Aisha Hasni, the former president, rejecting Harris's argument that a Trump agenda would raise costs on the middle class. Hurricane Ernesto expected to pass over or near Bermuda early tomorrow. Still a Category 2 storm right now, on track to stay away from the U.S., but there are risks along the shore.
Deadly rip currents, high rough surf along the East Coast, taking it really from New England all the way back down towards the Carolinas and into Florida for most of the weekend.
Fox Weather's Kiana Lewis. America is listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
You're probably going to get some more tomorrow. 86 degrees with a few clouds over the monuments. All good on your radar, low of 69 tonight. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 5:02. You had to put up with some rain early this morning, and chances are you'll get some more tomorrow.
There will be periodic chances for showers and thunderstorms. I think they'll focus primarily during the afternoons and evenings on Saturday and Sunday.
Mike Ryan with the National Weather Service says humidity levels are expected to drop next week. You shouldn't have to worry about any more rain after Tuesday. A drug called nitazene was found in the toxicology report of a man who died of an overdose in Fishers.
It's being referred to as the Frankenstein drug because of how powerful it is.
Hamilton County Coroner Jeff Jellison told Wish TV the drug can go undetected if labs aren't specifically looking for it. Fishers police are investigating where it came from. The judge in the Delphi murders case will not dismiss charges.
I'm Donnie Burgess. Special Judge Fran Gull says Richard Allen's attorneys have not proven that any evidence has been strong enough to drop the murder charges against Allen. The judge also denied Friday the defense's request to punish prosecutor Nick McClelland. Allen's attorneys say he's abused discovery rules, and the judge disagreed. A hearing is set for next Friday. Trial begins in less than 2 months. Donnie Burgess, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Nearly 20 years after IMPD officer Jake Laird was killed while in the line of duty, a ceremony was held today at IMPD's Southeast District in honor of him. His mother, Debbie, shared memories of their last conversation.
The last thing Jake said to me was, "I love you, Mom." I've always believed that God knew what was coming, but he also knew I would need the sound of those last words to withstand the news that we would soon receive.
Laird was 31 years old when he was shot and killed by a man who was shooting bullets on the south side of Indianapolis. You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 5:04.
Summers in Indy are great, but don't spend it painting. Do what your neighbor Don did. He called Rhino Shield.
Well, the home was built in 1948. Paint on the aluminum siding was peeling, and I couldn't find anyone who would repaint it until I called Rhino Shield.
Rhino Shield's better than paint. And the crew?
Painted all my aluminum siding, and I've got a front porch that runs the whole length of the house and all the pillars. And once they were gone, I couldn't even tell that they were there.
Right now, get the guaranteed protection of Rhino Shield for 10% off the regular price. Plus, there's more great news. Rhino Shield has partnered with Green Sky Financing to offer no payments until 2026 for qualified buyers.
Well, I've told a lot of people, do the Rhino Shield. It's really a great product, and that would be the way to go.
And here's Rhino Shield Shane Smith.
Call me at 888-RHINO-41. That's 888-RHINO-41.
Don't paint. Go Rhino.
Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
With traffic on the 5s at 5:05, here's Matt Bear.
All right, Harrison, looking at southbound 65 stop-and-go traffic 29th to Meridian Penn. Inbound 70 slows from rural to the north. Split delay continues a little bit down to Michigan Street. Northwest side, northbound 465 slow traffic from 86th Street up to 865. And on the south side, eastbound 465 drags a little into the construction zone. That's 72-man road. Traffic sponsored by Allstate. Some people just know the best rate for you is a rate based on you with Allstate, not one based on anyone else. Visit allstate.com or call for a quote today. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
This Friday evening, we're looking at a few clouds around with maybe a below 20% chance of a stray shower popping into the forecast. Low temperatures drop to 69 degrees, winds out of the southwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Drew Narsutis for 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox on the level on the go and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos?
So let's rock it.
My name is Nigel. Jason Hammer is here. We also have... what's your name again? I forget.
Live from the embargo, Indy Spanglish.
Indy Spanglish. It's Jerry Lopez hanging out in studio. About 45 minutes from now, Beer Bong Challenge, right?
Yes. So we've got a twofer today. We've got Spanglish and Ethan Hatcher, who will be here a little bit later on.
Cool.
Now, they're not competing against each other. This is an exhibition today.
How are we going to... Should I bring like a wet rag to wipe off?
I've got it figured out.
The bong?
I've already got it. I've got a bottle of water. We've got paper towels. We've got a trash can. We will clean Celebrity Beer Bong after the use, and next man up.
Because of COVID and everything, I was just concerned.
Well, I'm Cuban. I'm not scared of COVID. There's COVID can't do anything to me that Castro hasn't already done. So. But just for, hey, you want to come to the YouTube channel because here's the secret.
Yeah.
Little inside baseball.
Yeah.
I've never done this before. So I brought an extra shirt because I heard you might get messy if you don't know what the heck
You've never
you're
done a
doing.
beer bong before?
No,
Dude,
look at
it's
me.
easy,
I didn't
man.
hang out in the beer bong circles.
Okay. You play darts 5 nights a week. You telling me you don't?
You got me to change from Heineken to Miller Lights. I don't beer bongs.
That's right. All right. Well, we'll work that out here later on this hour.
Man, we're going to have a fun hour. This is going to be awesome.
I think so.
ABC News says the September 10th presidential debate will be at 9 p.m. It's going to be in Philadelphia at the National Constitution Center. And we all thought for sure, since it was going to be on ABC, that little ankle biter, butt sniffer George Stephanopoulos would be the moderator.
Oh, sure.
Not the case. It's going to be moderated by David Muir and Lindsay Davis. And I actually like both of these hosts. I think this is as good as it's going to get for Donald Trump in terms of moderators.
I don't have numbers right in front of me. David Muir gets huge numbers on that nightly news program of his on ABC.
Yes.
Huge numbers.
At least it seems like neither one of these will make it about themselves.
Right. Lindsay Davis used to work here in Indianapolis at Channel 13 before she got her big break at ABC. Now, if you remember, Lindsay moderated a primary debate for the Democrats back when Kamala was still running. And she basically depantsed Kamala. I think we've got that.
Also a concern for people of color is criminal justice reform. Senator Harris, you released your plan for that just this week, and it does contradict some of your prior positions. Among them, you used to oppose the legalization of marijuana, now you don't. You used to oppose outside investigations of police shootings, now you don't. You've said that you changed on these and other things because you were, quote, swimming against the current, and thankfully the currents have changed. But when you had the power, why didn't you try to effect change then?
The crowd gave Lindsey Davis a standing ovation for that question.
Let me ask you let me ask you guys a question, though. I think that was a legitimate question. Was it weighted? Was it biased at all?
Yeah, it was overstepping. We would have been upset if somebody did that to Trump. They did that to Trump in Chicago.
See, I disagree. I think if that's something you've done, it's got to be brought up.
I think
if you don't want people to ask about it, don't do it.
But it needs to be brought up by the person you're debating. I think that, to me, that's the
Oh no,
rules.
that's a good question.
It's my job to ask the question and hope that you have the receipts.
But I think this is good news for Donald Trump, though. Anybody but George Stephanopoulos, I think, was good news.
He can go up against George Stephanopoulos. He's been interviewed with George Stephanopoulos.
I'm not worried about Trump. I'm worried about Stephanopoulos basically throwing in the towel to try to help Kamala Harris, because he would do that. He would 100% do that.
Yeah. I mean, but we were surprised by the CNN debate. Jake
Although,
Tapper.
let me put my tinfoil hat on here, Jerry. Let me know if I got it on straight, okay? There's a lot of people that thought they moderated that debate in a way so they could get rid of Joe Biden. And lo and behold, look what happened. Gonzo, bye, done, kick rocks.
I mean, they did call for it seconds after it finished.
The earliest debate
You're right,
in
they
like
did,
election cycle. Like, why would they have this debate before the convention? Yeah. Because they were going to bounce Joe Biden from the very beginning. I got my tinfoil hat on, straightening up.
That is on tight.
Tinfoil means a lot these days. Those guys are 19-0.
Dateline New York. Nige, remember when certain parts of New York wanted to arrest you if you didn't have a mask on? They wanted to fine businesses. They were locking people down.
Wait, by certain, did you mean Indianapolis, Indiana? Is that who you're talking about?
Well, yes, but also New York.
Oh, okay. Sure. I remember that. Yeah, during 2020. Yeah.
Dateline, Nassau County, New York. Nassau County Executive Bruce Blakeman has signed a new bill into law this past week that bans face masks in public with the exception of religious, health, or cultural necessity. So instead of a face mask requirement, they're doing a face mask ban, Nige.
And you know why they're doing that, Jerry. Everybody knows why. It's because of all these anti-Semitic, pro-Hamas protests. There's a criminal element now.
Yeah, I mean,
it's enabled the criminals now to wear masks and cover their faces.
Yeah, I think, was it Mayor Adams was like, if you wear a mask into the store, things are 100% off.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right, like everything must go. If you wear a mask, everything's free.
So, and now, in just a few short years, they went from mask mandate to mask ban in Nassau County, New York.
And let me guess, the civil liberties, ACLU are involved in this in some way, shape, or form.
Does it really change anything if they gave you the health option, though? Because that's what they're going to say it is, a health thing.
Yeah.
I've actually got a statement here from Bruce Blakeman, the Nassau County executive, on this new mask ban. Would you like to hear it?
Sure.
Take this mask and shove it. I ain't wearing it no more.
You got me.
It's been a bit.
Y'all look at me like
I'm a son of a
Mars when I don't wear it in the store. Don't even try to make me put it on or I'm walking.
Big Nige, help me out.
Take his mask and shove it. I ain't wearing it no more. Yeah, here it is. The New York Civil Liberties Union criticizing the mask ban as an infringement on free speech rights. Where were they when these fascists were forcing us to wear those face diapers? They could have cared less in 2020. And now all of a sudden, my head is going to explode. My eyeballs,
if your face got any more red right now, you'd be Joe Hogsett.
I can work on that. I can definitely work on that.
Jerry, you got a Costco membership. Are you a Costco guy?
I am.
Costco is now cracking down on people using expired or counterfeit cards. they're installing some new scanners. They're not everywhere just yet, but until then, this is happening.
Attention Costco shoppers, this is the police. Now that Costco is scanning ID, some of you are in some pretty big trouble. Sir, put the Dixie cup full of orange chicken down and step away from the lady in the hairnet handing out free samples. I do not have time for your shenanigans, freeloader. You think you can waltz in here, flash a library card, and enjoy a $1.50 hot dog soda special without a membership? No, you're going to have to join like everybody else, mister. It's not like it doesn't have its privileges, like 70-count boxes of waffles or giant Halloween inflatables that destroy your lawn. Oh, and let's not forget the stylish threads, because nothing gets ladies more hot and bothered than a pair of Kirkland cargo shorts.
I wear cargo shorts.
Put your hands in your receipts where I can see them.
Can I just tell a quick story before we hit Matt Bear with traffic? A buddy of mine, a neighbor, was propositioned recently in a parking lot of a, shall we say, big box membership retailer.
Could be Costco, could be Sam's Club, could be Walmart.
There's a hotel across the street. And so he's got like a bag, he's got like a bunch of wet wipes and stuff in his cart. And this woman, she's not from here. She didn't speak our language, but she stopped him. And she had a cart full of stuff too. And she goes, "Me, you," and then she pointed to the hotel, the Days Inn.
Okay.
So she pointing to herself, pointing to him. Ha 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 ha. I mean, what is that?
Looks like we're going to a new Costco. That's what it.
I didn't say it was Costco. I'm just saying there's one of those places, and it's right next to a hotel. And this lady was like, "Me, you." Over, and then motioning to the hotel.
That's disgusting. That's unacceptable. Where was it?
I'll tell you off the air.
Okay.
I'll tell you off the air.
I mentioned this.
He declined, by the way.
Okay.
She was not Sofia Vergara.
See, that's the thing, right? Most prostitutes are haying their poop, and you don't want to touch them. It's not like the movies. Julia Roberts isn't walking out of the Flying J, right? That's not happening. We talked about this earlier. If you need a reason to drink, today is National Tell Someone a Joke Day. I was going to be really tough on Nige for bringing the show to a screeching halt earlier, but because it's Tell Someone a Joke Day, we allowed it. So I've got a couple clips here for you. And I know we're running late, but I think these are worth it.
Okay.
Back when Kyle was our producer, TKW. Yeah. Before the lovely and talented Allison, we had Megamondo. We had TKW. And I'll never forget how mean Nigel was to Kyle when he told us this awful story, this awful joke off the air. Matt Bear, I don't know how it is back there where your traffic center is, but during commercial breaks here in our studio, Kyle doesn't shut the hell up. Like, he just talks and talks. And like, we're trying to focus on doing our show. Like, commercial breaks are the one time where we can kind of collect ourselves. We just got done having a great conversation with Tony Kennett, and Kyle just doesn't shut the hell up.
He just told us the worst story. I mean, the worst story I've ever heard in my life.
And we're going, like as much as we can before it becomes painfully obvious we don't care.
Now I kind of want him to tell the story real quick.
And Kyle, please tell us the story that you couldn't wait to tell us the minute that we got off the phone with Tony Kennett.
So I DoorDashed over the weekend, and I said I had the ultimate dad joke or uncle joke, in my case, of the weekend. I had a DoorDash pickup at Crumble Cookies, okay? So I walk up, and there's a guy standing there, and there's a couple standing there behind him. The guy that's standing there is like you, Hammer. He's annoyed. He's mad. He's angry already. And then me, all positive, upbeat. I walk up. This guy goes, "Oh, if you're DoorDash, you're going to be waiting here forever." And I looked at him, and I said, "Well, I guess that's just the way the cookie crumbles." And then he gave me no reaction. And then the couple behind him, the dude was you. He goes, "Oh, this guy will be here all night."
The thing is, here's the point. And Matt Bear, I'm sorry you had to suffer through that.
Just a remark. Misery loves company, Matt.
But that was a story unsolicited here in the studio. He just started talking about DoorDashing and something about a cookie crumbling.
Right. We literally put our headphones down and turned off our microphones, and we get stuck with this DoorDash story.
Well, somebody had to have said, "How's your weekend, Kyle?" or something like that.
Don't ever make that mistake. Do not make that mistake. You'll get cornered for 10 minutes.
Right. It's either that or you'll get 15 minutes of a wrestling monologue. Like, don't ever talk to Kyle because it'll just suck the life right out of the room.
And I'm honestly, I have no idea why I started telling you guys that. I just started telling you.
We don't either.
Oh, man, the good old days.
Right.
That makes me miss Kyle. I love Allison, of course. But
right.
You know what? Actually, I don't miss Kyle. I don't miss those stories anyway.
All right. So choose your own adventure. I'm going to let Jerry pick it because he's our guest in here right now. I've got some jokes about the state of Alabama. Should I play that clip now or do it after Matt Bear's traffic?
Let's do it after Matt Bear's traffic.
All right, let's check in with Matt Bear right now. And then, in honor of National Tell Someone a Joke Day, we will rip on those hillbillies from Alabama. Matt Bear, we've got high school football. We got the Indiana Fever. We got the Indiana State Fair. There's a lot of stuff going on.
All right, fellas, looking at a ramp that's partially blocked right now. This is a bad crash going southbound 465 at IS-70. Be careful heading through there. Westbound 70 slows after rural into the north split, continuing to be stop and go down to Fletcher. And then continuing on southbound 65 into the south side, stop and go traffic begins at Raymond Street down to South Keystone Avenue because of a medical emergency that has closed the right lane. Eastbound 70 heavy again, Harding to the south split, southbound 65 stop and go at west, and on the north side eastbound 465 not awful but slow in parts, Keystone Avenue 269. Traffic sponsored by BJ's Wholesale Club. BJ's Wholesale Club is opening soon in Carmel. At BJ's, members get up to 25% of grocery store prices every day. Visit bjs.com/Carmel or the membership center at Rangeline Crossing Plaza to join today. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
85 right now at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. Again, coming up here in just a moment, we'll play Are You Okay With This? And then Ethan and Jerry will join us for a little round table. We got Celebrity Beer Bong, Beer Sample Friday, all on the way this hour. But we're celebrating National Tell Someone a Joke Day. And it was a couple of months ago on this program. I don't know how we got on the topic, but we just started ripping on the state of Alabama. One joke after the other. It's time for some Alabama jokes here on the Hammer and Nigel show. Big Nige, why did O.J. Simpson want to move to Alabama?
Why?
Because everyone has the same DNA. Hi-oh! Big Nige, what is 20 feet long and has 5 teeth?
What's that?
The line for the outhouse at a Tuscaloosa truck stop. Hi-oh! Big Nige, what does the average Alabama high school student get on his SATs?
What's that?
Drool. What do you call an Alabama girl who can run faster than her brothers?
What's that?
A virgin. An Auburn fan and an Alabama fan were driving along the road when all of a sudden the Auburn fan slammed on the brakes. There was a sheep with its head stuck in the fence. And the Auburn fan said, I'm an Auburn Tigers fan. I never pass up an opportunity like this. So he gets out of his truck, walks over to the fence, and makes love to the sheep.
Oh, my gosh.
And then he looks over to the Alabama fan and says, okay, it's your turn. The Alabama fan says, I know where this is going, and sticks his head in the fence. National Tell Someone a Joke Day on the Hammer and Nigel show.
So what's in the bag today? Yesterday's leftovers? Another lunch meat sandwich? Well, go ahead, pull up a rock and settle in for a half hour of I wish I was eating something else. Or you could be eating something else or someplace else. If you're brown bagging it at the corner of 30th and Shadeland area, drop over to His Place Eatery for 30 minutes of why didn't I know about this place sooner? Nothing fancy, not a lot of frills. They save that for the quality of the meal, like ribs that fall off the bone, southern fried chicken, sides that'll cause your taste buds to thank you into tomorrow. And all of it within 30 minutes. Put that in your brown bag and eat it. Better yet, bank the bag. Go to His Place Eatery off the corner of 30th and Shadeland. Your dirty boots and work clothes are welcome here. His Place. Your place for lunch. Monday through Thursday, 11 a.m. to 7 p.m., Friday, 11 to 8, Saturday, noon to 8, and Sunday, noon to 6. Go to hisplaceeatery.com to learn more.
A house or business fire is something you never want to think of. But should it happen, think fast. Think Michaelis. Over 35 years of rebuilding lives and spirits at the same time. No one comes more respected or as fast. Trust the ones the insurance companies trust. Water, storms, fire, and wet basements. Life happens. Michaelis happens to help you through it. Call 844-FIX-INDY. Make it Michaelis.
Hey, this is Spencer Thompson at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus. Now through Monday, Smith Brothers of Burn Furniture is on sale during the factory authorized sale. 1,000 fabrics, 100 leathers, lifetime warranty, completely custom, made in Indiana. It's the best, and it's the lowest price in 2024. Lazy Boy recliners start at $499, and Tempur-Pedic and Stearns & Foster mattresses are up to $900 off. Sale ends Monday only at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
Inside Indiana Business Radio, the news you need to get ahead. Indiana's business news leader, weekdays at 6:32 a.m. and 5:56 p.m. on WIBC.
To celebrate Be Employee Owned, Be's offering employee pricing 60% off plus 18 months, no interest, no payment.
Proud to be employee owned. Trust me.
Don't stress about plumbing repairs. Call L.D. Smith for honest advice and a free second opinion on any estimate.
L.D. Smith Plumbing.
A dirty, stinking honest.
Are you really okay with this?
Are you okay? Everything's gonna be okay.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
I'm pretty far from okay.
Are you okay with this? On the Hammer and Nigel show.
Oh, yeah! Boy, I got a full house here, Hammer.
Look at this group of great-looking Americans we've got in here.
Regular hot dog cart in here.
Allison's here.
Well, she doesn't count.
It's
she
a
would
one
prefer-
chick to four dude ratio.
she would
This is like a party at the Lambda house right now.
Jason Hammer's here. Spanglish is here. Ethan Hatcher is here. It's gonna have a hangout, right?
Yeah, we're gonna do a good old-fashioned bro fest coming up here in just a few minutes.
All right. Are you okay with this? And you guys feel free to chime in too. Machine Gun Kelly, or as I coined him, Shotgun Kelly.
The cover band.
The cover band. Machine Gun Kelly threw out the first pitch at the Guardians-Cubs game this week, Hammer. Instead of tossing it to the catcher, he took off and threw it into the stands, but the crowd cheered and loved it. Are you okay with this?
No? Just throw it to the catcher, moron. Listen,
the crowd loved it, though.
Yeah, but the crowd likes Machine Gun Kelly. They were cheering because he was there. They also would have cheered had he just thrown it to the catcher. Don't try to make yourself the story, dude. Just throw it to the damn catcher. You're there as a guest of the Cleveland Indians. And I know Machine Gun Kelly's a big Cleveland Indians fan. He's an Ohio guy, so he's a big diehard fan of the Indians. Don't try to upstage them by doing something stupid. Just throw it to the catcher. It's this kind of nonsense, this kind of crap, why the Cubs beat them in the World Series in 2016. Even though they swept the Cubs this past week, Cubs won the one that mattered.
This is like the people who perform verbal gymnastics while they're doing the national anthem. Just cut it out. It's, a relatively simple operation. You don't need to be jumping through hoops. Sing the song, get off the stage, and let's go.
Listen, I got to disagree. The Hawk Tua girl threw out the first pitch at the Mets. Did you see that?
Listen to this right here, Jerry. The New York Mets and the Hawk Tua girl. Did I hear spitball? Okay. The New York Mets had the Hawk Tua girl. If you don't know who this girl is by now, then I'm not going to sit here and explain it to you. But the Mets had the Hawk Tua girl. Hawk Tua! Haley is her name. Throw out the ceremonial first pitch. Many Mets fans are upset at the franchise for allowing this. Listen to the radio host from the WFAN in New York. Go ahead.
The Yankees have Aaron Judge and Juan Soto breaking records. Ruth, Mantle, Gehrig, and the Mets have Grimace, and now Hatua. Come on, bro, I can't take it. I cannot take it anymore. It's ridiculous. And then you wonder why fans get so ticked off and upset. It's embarrassing. Is it the biggest deal in the world? No, absolutely. Does it mean anything on the field? No. But that's the problem. The product on the field isn't good enough, and you're coming up with these silly gimmicks that are laughing stock. It's a joke. Hawk Tua.
Are you okay with the Hawk Tua girl throwing out the first pitch at a Major League Baseball game?
I'm fine with it. I'm not okay with the host from WFAN because,
Really?
correct me if I'm wrong, but the most beloved team the New York Mets have ever had were the 1986 World Series champions. That team did more cocaine, more blow. They had more domestic violence than any team I've ever seen in my lifetime. But a chick that's got a very intricate skill in the bedroom is the problem. You cheer these dudes that were snorting the baseline and beating their wives.
Yeah.
But Haley comes out here who does nothing but try to please men, and she's the problem? No. Leave Haley alone. I'm good with her throwing out this first pitch.
Hey,
Jerry.
Winning cures all woes, right? So they were winning then when they had Doc and the Straw and all those guys.
Right.
They're not winning now, so nobody cares if you spit on anything. Just throw strikes. All right?
Ethan?
I'm not okay with this. What happened to a sense of pride and decorum in America? And look, there were congressional investigations over steroid use and drug use in baseball, if memory serves. So that was roundly condemned, as it should be. And look, I'm fine with her profession and what she chooses to do in the bedroom is her own business. But there's a time and a place for everything, and maybe not on the pitcher's mound. You know what I mean? And we get this kind of crap into Congress, too. Now you got Anna Paulina Luna and...
I love that,
and
man.
Lauren
That's
Boebert.
great. Let's go, boy. Both of those bikini pictures were amazing.
Hey,
But it's not fit for Congress.
They've been spitting on
They
the-
weren't in the. Okay, so having male sex in the congressional hearing room was
No,
okay.
but we also roundly mocked that.
Okay.
All I'm saying is there's a hot chick in a bikini. I want to see it. That's all I'm saying. All right, coming up next, more from Ethan, more from Jerry. We got Celebrity Beer Bong on the way, but first, Harrison Silcox has the news.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
It's not what the defense wanted. 86 degrees and cloudy downtown. Your radar's clear. Temps drop just below 70 tonight. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 5:31. Special Judge Fran Goles denied two motions from the defense team representing suspect Richard Allen in the Delphi murders case. Donnie Burgess reports.
The defense team in the Delphi murders case wanted charges dismissed based on what they called exculpatory evidence, which would prove Allen's innocence, but Judge Gall ruled Friday they could not prove that evidence was exculpatory. The judge says Allen's legal team also couldn't establish a solid line of evidence against an alternative suspect. Judge Gall also denied the motion to punish the prosecution for what the defense called abuse of evidence rules. Trial begins October 14th. Donnie Burgess, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Vice President Kamala Harris announced her economic plan while talking in North Carolina today.
My plan will include new penalties for opportunistic companies that exploit crises and break the rules.
Harris is expected to accept her party's nomination to run for president next week while at the DNC in Chicago. Republican vice presidential candidate J.D. Vance spent time in Milwaukee today talking about immigration.
What we want is an American immigration policy that promotes assimilation, that no matter where you come from, you can become an American, but only if we have an immigration policy that promotes assimilation instead of doing things like what we've done over the last few years.
He says the Biden administration's handling of the border has been a disaster. His memory will live on through his family and the foundation they started to honor his sacrifice. Ryan Hedrick has more details on a ceremony to remember former police officer Jake Laird.
Indy Metro Police Officer Jake Laird was killed on August 18, 2004. Since then, many ceremonies and events have honored his memory, but the biggest impact has been made from a foundation that was started by his parents.
Since its inception, the Jake Laird Memorial Fund has donated over $1.3
million back to police and fire agencies all across the state of Indiana.
IMPD Commander Ron Hicks at a ceremony on Indy's South Side on Friday. Ryan Hedrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
The Indiana Fever are back after a 30-day Olympic break. They've got the Phoenix Mercury at home tonight. Head coach Christy Side says the team spent the break working on defense.
They put in the work, and they knew we needed to work on that, and they were real positive about it and worked really hard, and we did do some things and got better over the break on the defensive end side of the floor.
Tonight's game starts at 7:30. And with a look at the roads at 5:33, here's Matt Baer.
All right, Harrison, on the east side, crash and closure. The ramp from southbound 465 to eastbound 70 has shut down because of a serious crash. In addition, if you're traveling eastbound 70 to Hancock County, we have 2 right lanes closed at I-465 while crews assist with the crash cleanup. Right now, traffic is stopped to Arlington Avenue. I would consider using Washington Street instead. On the west side, crash northbound 465 shy of West 56th Street. The right lane is closed. Inbound 69 jams 106 to 82nd. Eastbound 465 stop and go traffic from Keystone Avenue over to I-69. Traffic sponsored by B Window, now employee owned. B Window is celebrating this month with employee pricing for everyone. Get 60% off plus 18 months, no interest or payments. Trust your home to B. Visit bwindow.com for details. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
This Friday evening, we're looking at a few clouds around with maybe a below 20% chance of a stray shower popping into the forecast. Low temperatures drop to 69 degrees, winds out of the southwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Drew Narsutis for 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox on the Level on the Go and on WIBC.com.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Oh, yeah. I'm Nigel. Hammer, do you want to introduce this motley crew that we have here, this lineup?
Look at what the cat has dragged in here. On one microphone, we've got Jerry Lopez, WIBC contributor, fill-in host. Find him on social media at Indy Spanglish. And in the other seat on the microphone, Ethan Hatcher from Saturday Night on the Circle, fill-in host here at WIBC, and Ethan has brought a hat, and I'm not quite sure what the hat says. It either says you just drafted a new article to the Constitution, or you're trying to melt Frosty the Snowman. One of the two. I'm not sure what the hat says, Ethan.
Why is the hat villainous? Why does it got to be aggressive against Frosty? I have no beef with Frosty.
You look like the villain in Frosty the Snowman when you wear that hat.
It's a leather fedora with a feather.
It is a leather top hat, sir.
Top hat.
This
I'm
is
sorry.
Nothing like a fedora. Yeah, I got this at the state fair, no less. This is a genuine article of
How much you pay
Hoosier
for something like
craftsmanship.
that?
$140.
Hello.
Yeah.
I mean, I just made a $200 bet. I can't complain,
Yeah,
but
you're right.
that's an awful lot for a hat.
Tell everybody
A
the
very
bet you
nice
made.
hat, though.
Tell everybody the bet you made, real quick.
So I was talking with my wife, and we were inspired by Dave Portnoy of Barstool.
Here it comes.
He put a lot of money on the Indiana Fever to win the WNBA championship.
Put $100,000 down on the Fever to win the WNBA championship. To win, I believe, $10 million.
Right. It's 40-1. That's the odds of the Fever, right? If the season ended right now, they would be the 7th seed in the playoffs.
Yes.
Only 8 advance. But Caitlin Clark has finally had rest, the first rest she's had in a long time. So I also put $200 on the Indiana Fever to win it all. And if they do, it pays out $8,200.
Oh, man. Drinks on you. Go Fever.
Yeah. Drinks on me. Might be a sucker bet, but I've got some things to look forward to for the next couple of months. All right, let's get down to brass tacks here. Now, Ethan, you live in the district where your local counselor
District 13.
Jesse Brown,
Yeah.
the socialist. I can't believe what kind of bizarro world we're living in, because Jesse and I probably disagree on 99.99% of the things political, but we're on the same page when it comes to Joe Hogsett. He's the only city county councilor calling for Boss Hogsett to resign.
And as weird as it sounds, Jesse is at least a man of principle. And although often, 90% of the time, like you said, they are principles that I drastically disagree with, at least he's honest about them. And he intends to hold the Democrat Party to a higher standard, kind of in the same way that Rob Kendall, always bickering with the Republican Party, because he wants to hold them to the pinnacle and the highest aspiration that they should attain. Jesse's kind of the same way with the Democrat Party. And so he is not putting up with any of the nonsense from Joe Hogsett and the willingness, it seems, that the administration had to overlook the sexual impropriety from its deputy mayor and possible other transgressions in the office there.
I love the fact that somewhere Rob Kendall right now just got compared to Jesse Brown. His head's probably spinning around. Jerry,
he is as conservative as Jesse is socialist, though.
Right. Great comparison. You're right. Jerry, where are you at with what you're seeing at the mayor's office?
I mean, to me, it's hard to alleviate any kind of responsibility from Hogsett because he knew. Once he found out, now the 100%. Buck stops with you. Once you know. And we played that clip when I was hosting for Kennett where he was talking to Lauren in the city market. And that happened in 2019.
Yeah.
He said, I'm sorry you feel that. It was 2019. He brought this guy back to run his campaign 4 years after that. You need to answer for that. You knew he was wrong. You knew there were allegations by multiple women years before you brought him back without having any of that settled. Yeah, you're responsible for that.
It's also time to show the receipts because he says that there was an investigation that took place after 2017. Well, where's the paper trail? Let's see it, Bucko.
And why now? That is the question I have been banging my head up against a brick wall about. Why now is this all coming to light?
That is kind of a conversation that I touched on in Saturday Night on the Circle and how gross it is, the willingness of Democrats to overlook this scandal to maintain power within the city because multiple people within the administration knew this was going on.
This was a worst-kept secret in the city, the sexual shenanigans taking place at the mayor's office.
But it was more important for them to keep Marion County deep blue. That's gross.
Jerry, is this more of a story about Thomas Carl Cook, the man at the center of the actual allegations, or is this a story about Joe Hogsett and what he knew and did he cover up said sexual shenanigans?
To me, it's a story about Mayor Hogsett because betas are always going to beta. So anytime you get some loser guy like Thomas Carl Cook who finds himself in a position of power, and this happens at hundreds of thousands of businesses every day, they use that position as a way to hey, can you stay late and work with me? Or little things like that.
Schools, too, by the way. High school teachers.
Yeah, you're never going to get rid of that. We need to make sure we put emphasis on reporting so that people aren't scared to report when things like this happen. And when they are reported, that there is actual follow-up by the administration. To me, the administration's failure to correct this, failure to report, failure to protect those women, that's the story.
Having a good old-fashioned roundtable here. We got Ethan Hatcher, we got Jerry Lopez, Big Nige.
Hey, man. Just one more thing. What do you think of that apology in front of the city county council?
I'm sorry you feel like that.
But
what kind of apology is that?
We were talking about that a couple of days ago. Yeah. I'm sorry you feel.
Yeah.
It's a
I mean, he looked at those girls and said, "Oh, I'm sorry you feel."
But is that legalese?
Your requests were yes, it is.
Did attorney say do not admit guilt to anything?
You feel like that. I'm sorry you feel like your requests were ignored, and you hear one of the girls in the background say, "They were." That was egregious to me.
And what I love is these women, they've got receipts, right? They videotape themselves interacting with Boss Hogsett. There's audio, there's text, there's emails. All the things are there. It's not just anonymous hearsay. They got receipts.
That's the best part is the fact that they were brave enough and prescient enough to document this bad behavior over a series of years and then keep the records for their own for their own benefit. And then to be able to present this information forward, I think gives them a high degree of credibility, which is why everybody has really rallied around the Indy Star piece and the Mere Indy piece.
Are you guys ready to bong some beers? Hold on. No. Are you ready to bong some beers, Jerry?
Hey, we're going to find out, aren't we?
Let's get ready to bong!
I'm done talking about Boss Hogsett. I want beer flowing through this thing. I want the streets to be covered in beer. It's Beer Sample Friday.
Hey-o.
We've got not one, but two local celebrities on Celebrity Beer Bong. We will do that when we come back. Get to the YouTube feed right now. WIBC's YouTube channel. Ethan Hatcher, Jerry Lopez, Celebrity Beer Bong. Next.
Whether you're dropping them off for their first day of school or they're driving themselves for the first time, we know you have enough on your mind. That's why Hubler's got you and your family covered for 100,000 miles. So head back to school in a Hubler Q-certified vehicle, including a 128-point vehicle inspection and a free Carfax history report. Shop any of our 12 locations and choose from Chevys, Fords, GMCs, Buicks, Nissans, Acuras, Mazdas, Hondas, and many more. Over 2,000 vehicles. All makes, all models, certified vehicles, luxury vehicles, even the hard-to-find ones. Head back to school with peace of mind, knowing Hubler's got you covered for 100,000 miles.
Hubler's got you covered.
Visit drivehubler.com or any of our 12 locations.
Hubler's got you covered.
Warranty on select models less than 9 years old.
At Franciscan Health Indiana Blood and Marrow Transplant Program, we treat you like family. Our cancer specialists provide around-the-clock physician access and deliver groundbreaking treatments to face cancer head-on. With over 25 years of experience treating complex blood cancers, we're a top 100 hospital for bone marrow transplants by CareChex and rank in the top 12 nationwide for allogeneic transplant survivals. Visit franciscanhealth.org to learn more and find hope in our compassionate care.
Tomorrow starts at IU Indianapolis. Our students are the engine of Indiana's future in powerful partnership with the country's leading businesses and organizations. We prepare each student to make impacts that matter right here at home, inspiring bold endeavors and life-changing careers. Bring on tomorrow, IU Indianapolis. Discover how we're powering what's possible at go.iu.edu/tomorrow.
Tune in to the Absolute Retirement Planning Show.
When retirement comes about, we're now relying on what we have saved to meet those needs.
Sundays at 9 a.m. right here on 93 WIBC.
Sertoma Club of Greenwood's Wham Fest, wine, art, music, and microbrew. This Saturday, August 17th, noon to 9, Craig Park in Greenwood. Presented by the Ray Skillman Automotive Group. Tickets at whamfest.com.
Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield and Common Threads has teamed up with the Indiana Fever to provide local schools with information for nutritious meal preparation. Learn more at anthem.com/fever. Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield is the trade name of Anthem Insurance Companies, Inc.
Were you born from 1945 to 1965? People born during these years are 5 times more likely to have hepatitis C. So even if you try to eat right, exercise, and take care of yourself, you could still have hepatitis C, a serious disease that's a leading cause of liver cancer. If you were born from 1945 to 65, you should get a blood test for hepatitis C. Treatments can cure this disease. Talk to your doctor about getting tested. A message from the CDC.
Oh, it's on like Donkey Kong. Get your butts to the YouTube channel. We've got not one but 2 WIBC radio hosts about to do Celebrity Beer Bong. That's coming up right after we check the roads with Matt Baer.
East side crash and closures. The ramp from southbound 465 to eastbound 70. That ramp is shut down. Also, 2 right lanes are blocked on eastbound 70 at the 465 ramps. That stops us past Shadeland Avenue to Arlington Avenue. If you're heading out to Cumberland or Greenfield, I would use Washington Street 40 instead. On the northeast side, crash northbound 465 at East 71st. Center lane closed. Traffic stop and go back to East 56th Street. Crash Fishers eastbound. Make that southbound 69 before 82nd Street, blocking the right lane, causing stop and go traffic to 106th Street. Crash clear on the northwest side. Northbound 465 shy of West 56. That is gone. So is the traffic. Traffic sponsored by B Window. Now employee owned. B Window is celebrating this month with employee pricing for everyone. Get 60% off plus 18 months, no interest or payments. Trust your home to be. Visit bwindow.com for details. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Right now, it's 84 at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center, and it's Beer
Sample
Friday! But now,
Hammer and Nigel present
Beer Sample
Fry.
I got some beers. Let's drink them, huh?
Beer's on sale, people. Come down,
get you some. My name is Nigel. Jason Hammer is here. We have dual participants in the Celebrity Beer Bong Challenge, and we're brought to you by Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus. They just dropped off some awesome patio furniture at my house. Berlin Gardens outdoor furniture.
Ooh,
just
good stuff.
Awesome. Just amazing stuff. So thank you to Spencer and Big Mike and Michelle and Nick and everybody down there at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus for paying for all this.
You guys have never done a beer bong?
Not
Ethan,
once.
Jerry, neither one of you have ever done a celebrity beer bong?
I mean, I feel like the surprise is Jerry. I mean, nobody's surprised that I haven't done it.
I mean, I'm honored. I felt like I just got a W under race on my parking ticket, but no.
Okay, so this is how it's going to work. Again, you're not competing against each other. You're competing against Guy Relford's record time.
No, we're not doing that either.
And Racing Rachel's all-time
Racing
record.
Rachel
She
was
tied
impressive.
Guy 2.6 seconds. We don't expect that
2
from
seconds.
you, but we expect a good, clean effort. So who wants to go first here? Ethan does.
Ethan's right next to me.
Ethan wants to go first. So this is how it's going to work, Ethan.
All right.
Nigel's going to
Hold it like this.
fill up your beer here in just a moment.
No. Hold it like this. I want the funnel down below, and there you go. Right there. Just hold it like that.
Physics.
Okay.
All right, Hammer, you want to go ahead?
Should his thumb be in the top?
I don't know.
No, you want to ventilate so that way it'll pour in.
So I'm just gonna pour it in real soft, real nice like. There you go. You see it kind of filling up.
Just tap it in. Give it a little tap.
I'm not gonna really look. This is a 12-ounce Coors Light here. Okay, look, the funnel is kind of like this. So what I'm going to do is lift the funnel up above your head. You're going to stay seated.
Okay.
And when
and we'll count you down. Okay.
And then when you breathe out, you want to breathe. Your final time you want to breathe out. That's when you put the funnel in your mouth and start sucking.
All right. That's what she said.
Okay. All right. Here we go. In 3, 2, 1.
Breathe out.
Go. Get it, Ethan. Get it, Ethan. Go. 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 He's drinking. He's drinking. Oh my goodness. Look at that.
Ethan, you did it, man. You did it. What'd you think? There's a trash can right there.
4.5 seconds.
Uh-oh. I'm good.
You got a trash can right there.
I just got it in the back of my throat.
Dude, that was so impressive, wasn't it? Now, Hammer.
How what was my time?
4.5.
Hey, that was awesome, dude.
4.5?
Yeah.
That's not bad.
Hey, no, bad.
Okay,
That was awesome, dude.
tell Jerry what you just experienced. Any tips for Jerry as a first timer?
It just fell right down in my belly.
Dude, that's the way it works with these beer bongs. It goes straight down. It's not like chugging out of a pint glass.
Yeah, that's kind of what I expected.
Okay,
It's
not like
it's
that's
like
what-
gravity. Gravity is your friend.
You
Gravity
two
is your
switch.
friend, Jerry. Gravity is your friend.
You two switch. Hammer.
Hey.
Hammer has cleaned. How much time do we have there, Allison?
We got about 3 minutes.
Oh, okay.
We just cleaned off the beer bong. I walked over. It's clean. It's sanitary.
I saw my girl. I saw my girl. I saw one person do this.
Yeah, Racing
And she
Rachel.
happens to have the tie for the record, so we're gonna follow her rules.
Okay. All right.
So, no. You want the funnel. You want the tip of the funnel.
Now,
right?
Rachel pinched the
she
thing.
pinched it
You
down
want
here.
the hose. Oh, she did, didn't she?
Yeah,
All right,
see?
well,
Jerry's listening. He's paying
Yeah.
attention.
Now I might do this in about 10 seconds, but it's gonna look pretty.
Dude, I'm horrible at this. Now, I can chug a beer like a boss.
I think it's gonna go
can't
fast.
I'm
bong a
pouring
beer,
it
but I
down.
can't swallow pills either because I'm a weirdo.
It's going to go faster than you think, Jerry.
it really is. So.
Feeling all right, Ethan? Everything good over there?
Yeah, we're good.
Okay.
You did
by the
great.
way, have you
Ethan
ever
did
tried,
awesome.
Have you ever tried taking your pills in pudding?
Yes, I've tried everything, Ethan. I've tried
Like a
everything.
dog or a
Okay,
cat.
here we go.
All right, here we
Everybody
go.
ready?
Hold on, she said we gotta
Breathe
let
out,
the
breathe
bubbles
out.
go
All right.
All right.
3, 2, 1.
Go,
Get
go,
it, Jerry.
go, go,
Indy
go,
Spanglish
go,
on the beer
go,
bong.
go,
Go.
go,
Get it.
go,
Get it.
go,
Yeah.
go, go,
Woo! There he is.
He did it.
6.7.
My man.
I love it.
Get it.
I love it. Oh,
Get
he
it.
just took his headphones off.
Hey, it's time for me to hear it. Mama, I made it.
6.7, Jerry. That's
take
good.
it.
Hey,
Dude, you
man.
guys
win.
killed.
First timers. I like it.
There we go.
I like it.
Impressive.
Well done. Ethan, when is your program?
I'm off. I'm preempted this weekend. But if you want to follow my antics, I have had a lifelong dream. I have a dream to obtain more than 500 followers on Twitter. And so you can follow me at Ethan Hatcher. ETHANHATCHER.
Where can we find you, Mr. Spanglish?
Yeah, I'm always just live on the interweb. So go to X. I'm at Indy Spanglish. Or on Thursdays, we do awful tweets with the Tony Kinnett cast from 7 to 8.
Nice.
Man, you guys
You guys killed it. I'm proud of you guys.
That is well
Right,
done.
cheers, man.
Jerry, was it as easy? Was it as hard as you thought it might be? I don't know.
So a little harder than I thought it was going to be. Not as hard as it looks really
I don't think
easy.
you should have creased it like Racing Rachel was a professional.
Yeah,
I think you
I
should have
agree.
done it like
I
Ethan did.
agree.
You did. There
so,
was some.
So that's minus 2 seconds because I did it that way.
It's all right.
So I
It's all
won.
right, but
I
you
won.
did it.
It was good.
You did
Feel
it.
good. That was awesome.
Hey, nice
Jerry,
job.
Ethan, well done. Indianapolis, the weekend is underway. It's Beer Sample Friday here at the Hammer and Nigel Show. Come on back.
Mike loves summer in Indy, but he hates to paint. So he called Rhino Shield.
Our home is basically a contemporary, and we just started noticing that the paint was just fading and just looked like garbage. We had received a postcard from Rhino Shield, and we decided to take a look at it.
Rhino Shield's formulated for our specific climate here in Indiana.
We had problems in the past with painters. They leave debris and everything. Well, we didn't have that with Rhino Shield.
And right now you can get the guaranteed protection of Rhino Shield for 10% off the regular price. Plus, there's more great news. Rhino Shield has partnered with Green Sky Financing to offer affordable monthly payments with 0% interest loans to qualified customers.
The thing about Rhino Shield, the heat gain has been reduced, and we save $70 a month. You don't hear that about any type of paint.
Here's Rhino Shield Shane Smith.
Call me at 888-RHINO-41. That's 888-RHINO-41.
Don't paint. Go Rhino.
Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
The wife and I have some amazing made in the USA patio furniture. We had a lot to choose from over there at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus. Spencer and Michelle helped us out. Took measurements, figured out exactly what we needed, what would look best. Love the sale going on right now, whether it's outdoor furniture, mattresses, sofas, sectionals, recliners, and more exclusively at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus.
Free delivery and setup if you live within 75 miles of their store. So while everybody else is jacking up the prices, Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus, free delivery and setup if you live within 75 miles. These guys support what we do here at the Hammer and Nigel Show. So if you need a couch, a mattress, a love seat, check out Thompson Furniture and Mattress. Take care of these guys. ThompsonFurniture.net. Tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you.
Hey, checking in?
This is not just your flu shot appointment at Walgreens.
Yes.
This is getting your entire family vaccinated in one trip.
Hey, Mom?
And a snack on the way out. Get flu shots for everyone in your family, together. Schedule appointments online today.